Let's see if this is working, guys. We should be live. The radio show's about to start. Let's see if you guys can hear me. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Make sure everything's working. This is my first time going live while doing the radio show, so I think we're getting levels. I think it sounds okay. Let's see. Let's see. I like that. Bipartisan legislation. Okay, you guys can't hear that, can you? Yo, yo. Let's see. Yeah, my mic should be working. Can you guys hear me? Let's go, guys. We got to have a good Saturday night. We need a good Saturday night show. Valentine's Day. You and your loved one should be hearing this and listening to this right now. Landry's not my producer. Somebody keeps talking about Landry. He's helped me out on some stuff, but he's not my producer. No. I'm single, guys. No loved one this year. Saving me money though. We'll get into it. Thank you guys for watching and listening tonight. I hope the audio is clear. Am I muted? I think you guys can hear me. I don't know. I'm trying to do two things at once. This show might struggle a little bit, but I'm hopefully we have a good radio show. This show's about to start. Okay, good. I'm happy the audio is good. And then we'll probably take calls in here in a little bit. So you don't have to call in yet. My new producer of the Rav show, his name's Rodney, and he's based in Denver, Colorado. No, I'm not a Freemason. I have made jokes that I am, though. About to start the show. I'm on the local radio here in Dallas. That's this show. About to start. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP, and it's a beautiful Valentine's Day. It's a little rainy, but I kind of like it like that because this is the type of weather that you like to just relax with your babe and snuggle a little bit. Maybe get under the blanket and relax a little bit. No funny business, though. You got to give a nice present before you get any funny business for Valentine's Day. But we got a lot to talk about, including this Nancy Guthrie case. I mean, I am really getting frustrated with every single time I turn on the TV. They have some sort of new information that leads to absolutely nowhere. So I'm really, really sick and tired of these Keystone cops in Pima County, Arizona, really not doing their job. I mean, we got the Pima County Sheriff saying that they have DNA that is not from a family member or a friend. And we know that 23andMe has the largest database of DNA. They can easily backtrack it and connect this DNA with, more than likely, with the criminal. I mean, I'm not an FBI expert, but we are going to have a legal expert call in very shortly. And he's going to give us a rundown on, why is there so much red tape when it comes to evidence and then linking the evidence to the intruder that went into Nancy Guthrie's house and just stole her. And sadly, I want to start off by saying my personal opinion when it comes to this situation is I don't think Nancy Guthrie is alive. I hate to say it. I feel bad for Savannah. But to me, everything indicates that she's no longer living. I mean, just the fact that the kidnapper took her without taking the medication, that makes it seem like it's going to be an uphill battle to keep her alive, especially she's 84 years old and you can't take her to a hospital. Now, you guys know me. I mean, I love conspiracy theories. I'm primetime Alex Stein. I grew up on these things. I've been talking about Pizzagate since 2016, but there is a guy that I don't agree with most of the time. His name's Chris Cuomo. His dad is very famous. His brother is very famous, Andrew Cuomo. He's kind of the handsy Italian guy, but that's neither here nor there. Now, he is actually getting frustrated and he's upset with the people that are saying it's a conspiracy theory. So let's hear what he has to say about it.
On the Nancy Guthrie case, see the deceivers. Oh, it's a conspiracy. Nothing makes sense. First of all, as a pro who's been doing this 25 years, we've never seen a case like this.
Okay.
The combination of aspects. Nobody takes elderly people.
Sure.
They don't even track the stat at the federal level, let alone local level. So you can't really even get numbers about how often it happens because it doesn't. Of course, the guy on the video isn't a trained assassin. He's a jackass. He's an ass clown. He's a bad guy who did a bad thing. And I hope they catch him and just stop, detaining random Latinos. So look at the deceivers. Look at the people who are telling you Guthrie's a conspiracy. Oh, but Savannah's video is just like a movie. You know why? Movies get consulted by the feds. She's consulting with the feds. The family's consulting with the feds. They have messaging protocols and processes that they believe make the best connection in these situations. It's not a conspiracy. It's not proof that she's part of a problem. Look at the people who are selling you that bullshit. They're the problem. They're jealous. They're dividers. And they suck.
Well, those are pretty strong words from Chris Cuomo, but already I forgot. We already got our guest. How do I put him through, Garrett? Put Joe Exotic through. I don't even know how to do that. Let's see. Well, Garrett, maybe he can come in here and show me how to do it. If I click it, well, I don't know how to add Joe Exotic, but we're on the grind. This is my second Saturday filling in. But when it comes to Nancy Guthrie and it comes to Chris Cuomo, basically defending anybody that's saying it's a conspiracy theorist and defending the people that think that we're crazy. Let me just tell you something: we're not crazy. Everything about this feels like some sort of smoke screen, like they want to distract us from what's really going on, and so they're just constantly leaking out evidence in this, a way that it takes all of our attention off what really matters. I mean, we have legislations that are going on. They just passed a SAVE Act, or they're trying to pass it, where they're going to make you have voter ID. I mean, I think if you got to have an ID to buy tobacco, you should have an ID to vote. But on top of that, with all the disgusting things in the Epstein files, nobody's really talking about Epstein as much. I mean, online, it's still getting a lot of attention, but I think that in, Fox News hasn't talked about Epstein probably in the last week because they're busy talking about Savannah Guthrie and Nancy Guthrie being kidnapped, because that is what's on everybody's mind. But, when you have the Pima County Sheriff saying that they have DNA from somebody else, but he won't tell us who, it just kind of makes me question what's really going on. So here, let's hear this clip from Fox News talking about how the sheriff is being, a little, I don't know, a little shifty when it comes to who this DNA connects who to.
The sheriff about the DNA. He says it's not Nancy's DNA. Did he say it could be the family's DNA? Or is he saying it's no one in the Guthrie family?
I'll tell you this, Jesse. He is saying it is not only no one in the Guthrie family. He is saying, and this is a quote, it is no one who has been in close contact to her, meaning Nancy Guthrie. So that would seem that he is absolutely ruling out this DNA coming from the family. He is ruling out the DNA coming from anybody who had contact with Nancy Guthrie in the form of perhaps a caretaker, anybody who was doing work in the house. So it seems that this is complete stranger DNA now that they are getting tested. And what could that DNA be? Well, DNA obviously could be blood. It could be any other bodily fluid. It could be fingernails. It could be a hair. We don't know what it is, and he was not about to tell us exactly what it is. But yes, family is not that DNA. Workers inside that house that they've been able to get in contact with and compare their DNA, not them either, Jesse.
That's huge.
Well, the fact that, the sheriff is being even coy about whose DNA this is, that if Donald Trump said that he's going to use all of his resources to figure out who the kidnapper is, you think they have a database of 23andMe that's larger than we can even comprehend in our mind. You think they'd be able to connect who the kidnapper is, and unless they're just, some illegal immigrant and they have no, paper trail and nobody knows who he is and his family's never done a 23andMe. I mean, I guess that does make sense, but at the same exact time, in this digital era that we live in, I just find it highly unusual that we do not know who kidnapped Nancy Guthrie. I mean, 84-year-old women just don't go missing. I mean, not at least kidnapped on their Ring doorbell camera. And with all the facial recognition and artificial intelligence, you'd think it would be so much easier to spot this person and this kidnapper. But no, it's just another leak of information that leads to absolutely nowhere. And I'm sure you're feeling frustrated. I'm frustrated. I mean, I want to find this lady. I feel terrible that she's more than likely dead. And on top of that, just the way that this has been run by the Pima County Sheriff's Department, I mean, we really need to see who is in charge. Is it the FBI or if it is Pima County? Because if I was to get kidnapped, I would not want to be kidnapped in Pima County. I'm telling you that. That's the last place on planet Earth that I would want somebody to kidnap me. Because, guys, I'm not going to be a good kidnap victim. I'm going to be complaining. I'm going to be yelling, screaming. As a matter of fact, they don't want to kidnap me. I mean, if the cartel had me for 5 minutes, I would be hanging out with the cartel doing Lord knows what, acting bad. If they made me do some crazy stuff, I would do it because I want to fit in with these cartel gangsters. But that's not the case for Nancy Guthrie. She's probably hanging out with people or was abducted by people that she does not get along with on an everyday basis. But what's really frustrating me, too, is the fact that now Harvey Levin says that he's gotten his third email, I believe, saying that they know who the kidnapper is. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that they're asking for 1 Bitcoin, which is roughly about $65,000. And here he is saying that he refuses to pay any money when it comes to the kidnappers' ransom.
Just to
I
see
think
where
it's
this goes?
I think it's really inappropriate because, based on what we know, we could be interfering with law enforcement. They are not just sitting back. There's a reason that this ransom, this $6 million ransom, has not been paid, and there's a reason why the Guthrie family and or law enforcement has not paid the money. I don't know what that reason is. Personally, I'm puzzled, but it's very clear to me that they could do it if they wanted. And if we got involved in that, I think it would be highly inappropriate and could actually impede the investigation. There's something, obviously, there's a lot they're not telling us, but I do know they're really interested in this. So we're just kind of following along. And
Now that's the founder of TMZ, Harvey Levin, and he's acting like all of a sudden he doesn't want to get involved in people's personal business. That's what you do for a living, Harvey. And to mention that you were also in the Epstein files, I haven't heard you say anything about that, but when it comes to this topic, I think that you're being a little coy, just as coy as the Pima County Sheriff. You're not telling us why you haven't given these people this ransom to find out who it is. Maybe you're lying about that. Maybe it's Harvey sending emails to himself. I don't know. Crazier things have happened, but I want the truth. I want to know what happened to Nancy Guthrie, and I want to know where she is, just like the rest of America. But I don't know how much more of my attention we're going to give this, because tonight, we're going to talk about it. I want to hear your opinion on it, but I just don't know how much longer this is going to go. The Pima County Sheriff said potentially could be weeks, months, even years before we find her. And that's just a very sad, sad outlook when it comes to this situation. So coming up next, we're going to have a legal expert call in and tell us why they have not been able to identify the kidnapper. And we're also going to have a call from the legend, Joe Exotic. You're listening to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP. Well, what? Yeah. Okay. I know, but it's like convoluted. I would just wish I could do it, but okay. Because then it's like, hey, Garrett, pick it up. You know what I mean? It's like, well, Joe Exotic too is not, he calls from a prison. Let's see if I can. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, well, we got Joe Exotic on hold. We're having trouble putting the calls through. Well, they got it, but I would like to be able to control it. But what are we going to do, guys? We're on the grind. This is only my second Saturday here. I think this is my fifth day filling in. They're giving me a little more responsibility every time, which is good. We need the Tiger King on. No, we got this. This is a good show already. My eyes are black? I don't think so. I think my eyes look good. Mm. You're listening to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP with your boy Primetime Alex Stein. It's Valentine's Day, and if you're not with a loved one, at least you get to spend it with me. You know, I'm considered one of the sexiest men in conservative politics. You guys know that's a fact. So I don't know anybody else you'd rather spend it with. Well, if you're a guy, you'd probably rather spend it in with a girl, but you know, it is what it is. So getting back to this Nancy Guthrie case, it's really a challenging situation for these law enforcement agencies to figure out who did it, which I don't think that should be that hard, considering the person that you kidnapped was a very famous person's mother. You know, Savannah Guthrie is a multimillionaire. And then on top of that, you have the president of the United States saying that we need to allocate all of our resources to finding out who did this, but I do not think that the Pima County Sheriff's Department can actually handle this. And I know the FBI is involved. They've set up a tent, but last night was supposedly supposed to be breaking news, but there wasn't really anything breaking about it. Let's just hear them talk about how they discovered something in a Range Rover and they put up a huge tarp, but they won't tell us what they discovered.
I don't know what's in there, but the fact that they were covering it up, you know, you saw that yellow cloth out there, like you see the viewers see right there. The fact that they're covering it up, I don't know what was in there, but it was something that was big enough that it required extending it out, 8 feet or 9 feet. You had several people holding that up and lifting it out. If it was a phone, if it was a device, you wouldn't cover it up like that. Not sure what that is, but it's something big enough that there's evidentiary value still left in that Range Rover. I don't know what's in there, but
yeah, I don't know what's in there either. I'd like to know, but they put up a tarp that is hiding the whole entire car. We all thought Nancy's dead body was in there, but that was not the case. So another rabbit hole just led to nowhere. I mean, I don't understand when we're going to actually get information that will satisfy us other than finding the body. But I want to get to our legal expert. Now, Jay, he is a cop in the southeastern Louisiana area. Do we have him ready, Garrett? All right, Jay, how you doing? You're live on WBAP 93.3 FM. What do you got for us tonight? Well, happy Valentine's Day. It's a sad day for the Guthrie family, but I'm not a legal expert. You obviously are a legal expert. Is it okay for us to be frustrated, or is this a standard operating procedure in a kidnapping and potentially murder case like this Nancy Guthrie case? Well, I know, but I get that they have to not mess up the case. They don't want to give the kidnapper information. But like when you hear Harvey Levin saying that he's getting requests for 1 Bitcoin to find the killer, do you think that that's all fake? Do you think that's just somebody trying to, be opportunistic for this from this terrible tragedy? What do you think's going on with that? Or should the FBI be investigating that guy and maybe giving him the Bitcoin and actually paying the ransom for the information? What usually happens in those situations? Well, in your experience, a professional kidnapper, I didn't even know that's a real job, but I guess in this era with cartels and, there's serious evil people out there. I know, I didn't even realize that. Well, what do you think about this kidnapper? Everybody's saying he was very unprofessional. He walks up to the door with his gun in his front of his waistband. He's throwing dirt on the Ring doorbell camera. How would you judge his professionalism when it comes to kidnapping? Well, and I hate to make a weird connection, but Jeffrey Epstein got caught on the leaked email saying that he ordered a bunch of sulfuric acid. That's hard to say. Is it possible to get rid of a body in this technologically advanced era? I mean, can somebody like put a body in sulfuric acid and get rid of it? I mean, I feel like with drug sniffing dogs and the fact that they were on it within an hour of the kidnapping. I mean, how can they not find this body? Is it really that easy to dispose of a body potentially? And what do you think the dynamic is between the Pima County Sheriff's Department and the FBI? Because I know that stereotypically, law enforcement agencies, they act like they're good friends, but really when they're on a crime scene, one person wants to take over and the other person wants to take over, and they usually have a conflict of interest. So in this situation, what do you think? Like, is the Pima County Sheriff's Department trying to take control? Like, what do you speculate? And how do you usually operate with local law enforcement working with the FBI? Well, Jay, before you go, and I don't know how much you can say, but if you just had to speculate and take a guess, what do you think Nancy Guthrie is? She dead or alive, in your opinion? No, it doesn't. And one last question. Because the FBI is using all their resources, by this time, we're going on, I believe, 12 days since a kidnapping. They've been able to rule out that it's an inside job by now. Don't you think that, have they, in your humble opinion, like you said, do you think they've done enough research to know that it's probably not somebody within the family or an immediate close friend? Well, they've put 5 people, they've detained 5 people and made 0 arrests, which is blows my mind. Yeah, oh, I see what you're saying. You got about 30 seconds. Hmm. Wow. Well, you'd think if Trump's rallying the resources, they get a federal judge to sign off on it instantly. But what do I know? Thank you, Jay, so much. Keep up the good work. We back the blue here at WBAP. So stay safe out there, brother. I really appreciate you calling in and giving us your expert analysis this evening. All right, guys. You're listening to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM, WBAP. I mean, Yeah, that was because he called over Zoom. Hopefully the callers work this time. We'll see. If not, I don't know how to. Hopefully it works this time. I need to do a test call, but we'll just see. The phone lines are lit up. I know you couldn't hear the other end. That was on Zoom. And I think if we have the calls pulled up, I think you guys can hear them. Let's see. We'll see. For some reason, the Zoom doesn't go through the board. I don't know, but this should work. We'll see. Well, we got a lot of commercials and we got some news breaks. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, if you call in, I think you can hear the show. Thank you, Melanie. No, thank you. And let me know with the next callers we pull up. We'll see if it works. Let's see. We got a bunch of callers. We're about to come back from break here in a second. The call-in number's right there. I think it's in the title too. But I appreciate you wanting to call in. Wow, Melanie. Oh, wrong number. Thank you, Melanie, for the $10. Really appreciate that. You're the best, Melanie. 01678. Thank you, Melanie. Well, we have the dump button. Hopefully it works. We'll see. Let's see. Let's see. LifeLock. You guys can't hear the commercial. Sorry. We'll see. We'll see. If, hopefully everything works. Hopefully you guys can hear the calls. I'll check. Yeah, the line is busy. It's packed. I mean, it's full. We're going to be taking calls all night. We got a 3-hour show, so we'll be here all night. We got another news segment. All right. We're about to be back on the air. You guys can listen online at WBAP.com. Hopefully the calls work. Kyler Murray got traded to the Cowboys. I wish. We can't afford Kyler Murray's contract. Let's go. You're listening to the News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP with your boy Primetime Alex Stein. And I know that everybody's having a good Valentine's Day night. Especially if you got a big booty Latina with you, I know you're going to be extra warm on this kind of chilly evening here in Dallas, a little overcast evening, but it's still nice. So grab your loved one tight. But if you don't have one, at least you get to spend it with me, the Pimp on a Blimp. I don't know if there's anybody better, really. And I'm not just saying that to be, cocky, but I mean, I think that's just a fact. But I want to hear your opinion because, I can come here and I can pontificate all day long on the radio, but I want to know what the people think. I want to know what you guys are feeling out there in radio land because I'm sure it's frustration, but maybe not. Maybe you're like Chris Cuomo. You don't want people sharing conspiracy theories. So we have Reed in Arizona. We got Reed in Arizona. Let's put him through. Hey, Reed. How you doing, my friend? I'm doing good. So what do you think about Nancy Guthrie? What do you think is going on with all of this? Guthrie, what do you think is going on with all of this?
Well, I think it's interesting. So I go to school at Arizona State University, and funny enough, I got to meet you a couple of months ago when you came for the Turning Point event and you spoke, and it was amazing. But, it's really interesting. I mean, I feel like, especially with a lot of the students here, and I have friends down at U of A, we find the whole case suspicious. I feel like there's got to be, more due diligence that needs to be done by the sheriff, by Pima County. And the other thing too is they've not let the public know a lot. They've detained all these suspects. What was it? Like they detained 5 the other night. They released them all. It's getting ridiculous. And at a certain point, you have President Trump who's, saying, hey, we need to get the federal government, whatever you need, we'll help you. It's even with that, I just don't understand why they haven't progressed at all in this case. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't either. I think it's just kind of weird when you look at all the evidence, the fact that they even have a video of the guy going up to the house and putting a gun on the front of his waistband. At first, I thought this was some sort of inside job, but you're in Arizona. I know that he could go to the border theoretically, but I don't think that's the case. So if you had to guess, do you think Nancy Guthrie is alive or dead?
Well, if I had to give you my best guess, and this is just based off the fact that, she needs medication and stuff. I think, unfortunately, at this point, if I were to guess, I don't think she's still with us. And I think the next question is this. And look, I think everyone's hoping, that she's alive. I'm hoping she's alive, obviously. And, I'm praying for her and obviously, Savannah and, the entire family. But it's just a sad situation. But, the chances are just very unlikely. And so, there's a lot of questions that need to be asked, Alex. The question is first is, where was she taken to? What was the motive? Who would want to come after her? She's 84 years old. Obviously whoever came after her must have known that, Savannah Guthrie was her daughter, and
had to know that. That couldn't have been an accident. So this was planned. At first I speculated it was an inside job, but now after a little bit of time, the FBI had definitely had to search all of the people, friends, families that are connected. So I think if they haven't detained anybody, it's probably not going to be somebody close to the family. But what do I know? I'm not law enforcement. I don't think you're law enforcement either. I know that this is taking up a lot of our time. So this is my last question real quick. Do you think this is a distraction from what's going on with the SAVE Act getting almost passed? Do you think it's a distraction from the Epstein files? Why is this getting so much of our attention?
Alex, that is a great question. I would love to answer that. And I think it's yes. I think 100%. And I'll tell you why. Because the SAFE Act, by the way, should be something that, goes through. The president should be signing that. It should go through the Senate. If that doesn't happen, it's ridiculous. And even on the CNN, they did a poll, and it showed most Americans, including Democrats, want to get that passed. 70% of Democrats believe in showing voter ID. and all these things. So it needs to get passed. But it's a distraction. We all know it's a distraction because, Pam Bondi has not done her job well, as Attorney General. The Epstein files have still, we still have a lot of questions with the Epstein files. And, I think that's just kind of where we're at right now. I think it's bad because, President Trump's, out here saying, as much as I love President Trump, and listen, I voted for him, I support his policies.
But we should be able to critique him. But Reed, we should be able to critique him. And Pam Bondi, and during that Epstein congressional investigation, she said, "Oh, well, the Dow is up over $50,000." Pam Bondi has Dow syndrome, and I think that should disqualify her from being the Attorney General.
Oh, 100%. I think she's very unqualified. I think we need somebody to come in and, do a better job because even during Congress, when she was testifying, she wouldn't even look over at the victims, and it's unbelievable. I think the priorities aren't there. And I think that, President Trump is more worried about other things than the Epstein files, which for some reason he campaigned on saying, I will release the files. I will do this. And we're still, how many months are we into his presidency and it's not happening. So I think he just needs to step up and he needs to release the files and, Pam and the full files. And I think that, Pam Bondi needs to get her, respectfully get her stuff together and, we'll see what happens, but it's all a distraction. We all know it.
Well, thank you for calling in, Reed. I hope to see you again in Arizona very soon, my friend.
Alex. God bless you, brother.
Happy Valentine's Day. All right, next we got Jose calling from North Philadelphia. I mean, I bet this guy's opinion is going to be weird. Jose, are you there? I hope you got a big booty Latina with you on this nice Valentine's Day. Or what's your love status, brother?
I'm gay, so
well, you got a big booty Latino. That's good. We like that. We're okay with that. We'll allow it. Well, so what do you think about this Guthrie case? Are we ever going to find out where Nancy really is, or do you think she's dead or alive?
I think it's a big psyop. If you look into the Epstein files and Virginia Guthrie's interview with Donald Trump, she was denying Pizzagate. She was denying all of these allegations a few years ago, and now it seems like they're just trying to cause a big distraction. And her husband is all intertwined with Epstein, and the sheriff down there as well is doing a pretty bad job. So
do you think Hillary Clinton has something to do with this? Or you think this is a deep state actor? Is the one that is doing this to Savannah to send a message because she dare interview one of Epstein's victims? I mean, what do you think the connection is? Well, actually, we like Howard Stern, so I'll allow that. All right, thank you, Jose. But hey, listen, we like Howard Stern. Baba Booey, I think you can say penis on the air. Baba Booey, Howard Stern's penis is a famous way to call into a radio station and troll it. But I hope they play this on Howard's show. Oh my gosh, if they would play this on Howard's show, that would be incredible. But I don't think Howard has the cojones to even give me a little bit of clout because Howard has become such a coward. He's become a shell of his former self. And I could talk all night long about how bad Howard Stern is, but I used to love the guy. But that caller, I like where his head's at. He's definitely ideologically aligned with this show, so we'll allow it. Now we got some more callers. Let's put David Buckley through. David from Boston. David, how you doing, my friend? And what do you think is going on with Nancy Guthrie?
Hey, Alex, good to hear you again. I mean, I gotta say this. The last guy definitely had a really good point with the fact that it all seems so weird that it's happening right now, as the whole Epstein thing is going down. And I know he said to focus on Guthrie, but yeah, no, I mean, it definitely feels off because it's taking a lot of attention away from it in that last hearing in Congress. That was absolutely crazy with her just saying, let's just focus on the Dow. So I think with that, yeah, I mean, do I believe it happened? I think it definitely, it did, or I shouldn't say. I mean,
well, real quick, like David. So you're saying, are you of the opinion this is all AI and she's not even missing, and maybe Savannah's misrepresenting it? Because I mean, I think that at this point, Nancy has to be kidnapped. I mean, I definitely agree with you. There's some weird situations where they showed Savannah speaking, and she has 6 fingers. There has been some AI used in this case, but Nancy is kidnapped and hopefully still alive. Yeah. But I speculate she's dead.
Oh no, I agree with that sentiment being true. Unfortunately, about Nancy's mother, and that's the case. God bless her and the family. And no, I definitely think that's the case. I'm not saying what I'm saying is the fact that it seems like the the media, the White House, it definitely seems like this Epstein thing is starting to turn the fire up underneath some people. It's very bad. And, I think while it should be focused on, definitely, it's causing some distraction, right? And it's taking away from
major distractions. And we want more leaks. We want more people arrested. I mean, right now, I'm not satisfied with anything that has to do with the Epstein list because I haven't seen anybody get arrested. I've seen a few people lose their jobs, rightfully so, if you're hanging out with a guy like Jeffrey Epstein. But I want to see some people get perp walked. I want to see Kash Patel out there throwing pedophiles in jail. But it seems like we're not going to get that. So, David, thank you for calling in. Stay warm in Boston. I hope you got a lovely honey dip you're spending this Valentine's night with. Who are you spending it with? You solo, or are you just spending it with me tonight? It's just you and me, David.
I guess it's with you tonight, Alex.
All right, no Diddy. Pause, no Diddy. All right, kick him off the line. None of that's allowed. No, David's a good guy. All right, thank you guys for watching this evening, and we're going to dive deep more into the Nancy Guthrie. We got a lot more to cover, though. Ken Paxton suing the city of Dallas because they did not hire the mandatory amount of police officers that are supposed to be on duty by this time. And it's ridiculous because Dallas is becoming so unsafe every single day. That's why AT&T, their headquarters, was right here, right next to where I'm at in downtown Dallas. And now they're moving 15 miles up the road because the safety issues in Dallas and downtown especially is absolutely horrible. And we need more law enforcement. And, we had a law enforcement officer call in earlier, and his job's not easy. So, maybe they don't want to come here and work, and maybe that's why they're not getting hired, because maybe a lot of candidates would rather go to a city without so much crime, because if I was a cop, I wouldn't want to deal with all this crime. But coming up next, we're going to dive a little deeper and get to your calls. You're listening to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP.
After weekend storms and lots of rain for parts of North Texas, we head right into spring-like weather. Will we see severe storms? We'll cover it all with Weather on the Ones.
And lots of reaction and fallout already. So whose name will pop up in the horrific Epstein files next? That's at 7:17.
I'm Ernie Brown.
I'm Carla Marion.
Monty Cook has your news headlines at the top and bottom of each hour. Julie DeHarty has your traffic, and Chief Meteorologist Brad Barton has your Weather on the Ones. Plus, Al J has the laughs.
Monday morning, 5 till 9 on WBAP's Morning News on your Texas voice for common sense. News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP.
Low T, start for free. Get prescription testosterone replacement therapy with no startup fee, only from Red Mountain Weight Loss. You'll have more energy, better stamina, and it'll help you lose a little belly fat, too. You'll also think better, sleep better, and if you're not sleepy, well, that too. Don't be fooled. Nothing will boost your T levels like actual testosterone. So skip the gimmicks and get prescription strength testosterone. It's a game changer. Book your convenient online telemed appointment today. Just go to redmountainweightloss.com. That's redmountainweightloss.com.
Hi, my name is Jim, and I have low C. There, I said it. I started losing energy and becoming moody. Next, it was my marriage. With my low C, I just couldn't turn up the heat in the bedroom anymore. You see, low C is low comfort, and it's caused by worn-out heating and air conditioning systems. That's when a friend told me about the comfort maintenance program from Reliant Air Conditioning. I had an honest conversation with my service tech, and it turns out all I needed was a Freon supplement and new filters. Now, my C level is back to normal.
In a clinical study, Reliant Air Conditioning restored C levels back to normal in under 2 hours. Discontinue your low C treatment if your home is so comfortable that in-laws demonstrate tendencies to stay on a permanent basis. Common side effects include extreme comfort, reduced energy loss, and a very satisfied wife. To get your comfort level checked, call Reliant Air Conditioning at 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-YOUR-HERO. Or go to ReliantAirConditioning.com. Get your comfort checked and turn the heat back up.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription. And I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it, because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really worked so good. It makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. testimonialist was compensated for their time.
It's a new year. Ready for a fresh start or career reboot? At My Computer Career, prep for a more recession-resistant future in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, in months, not years, including AI. Whether you're starting out or switching careers, no prior training is needed. Attend school online from home or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu to take the free career evaluation today. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
You're listening to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP with your boy Primetime 99 Alex Stein, and it's Valentine's evening, and I hope you're spending it with a loved one, but if not, you're spending it with me, and I think that's just as good, if not better, if I'm being honest. But tonight we're covering this Nancy Guthrie case. I stayed up half an hour right now, and it just seems like it would be very pertinent to give us what we want. But of course, like the Epstein files, like anything, when the government or law enforcement gets involved, their whole entire job is to keep us in the dark. So it's frustrating, but what can I do? I guess nothing. But when it comes to this Guthrie thing, I want to get to a few more of your calls. The number is 1-800-288-9227. That's 1-800-288-WBAP. Call the number if you guys have an opinion. I think we got Solomon calling in. Let's put Solomon. Solomon, what do you think's going on with Nancy Guthrie? I got you, Solomon. You're live on the air, brother. What do you think's going on with Nancy? One 1-800-288-9227. That's 1-800-288-WBAP. Call the number if you guys have an opinion. I think we got Solomon calling in. Let's put Solomon. Solomon, what do you think's going on with Nancy Guthrie?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
I got you, Solomon. You're live on the air, brother. What do you think's going on with Nancy?
I don't think it's I think it's like a normal thing. Like, not normal because it's a crime, but I don't think there's like any like covering up or like any like bad business going on. I think something happened, like this guy robbed this house and maybe she like was awake or something. I think she's dead. I don't think he kidnapped her. I think he like killed her and like probably hid the body somewhere.
Yeah, I know. And then you saw those emails where Jeffrey Epstein ordered sulfuric acid. I didn't even know that you could dispose of a body with sulfuric acid. So maybe these people learned something from the Epstein leaks, and sadly, they made a soup out of Nancy's mother. And I'm not even saying that to be insensitive. I'm just kind of speculating that's what they would do. And this person had to know who Nancy Guthrie was and the connection to Savannah. So they probably knew that this was going to be a national story. So all roads to me believe that it's, and I just speculating this, I feel like the Clintons could have something to do with this, but I don't know that. I mean, I know that's really going out there on a far leap, but you know, reality is stranger than fiction in this modern world that we live in.
I have a question for you, Alex.
Yes, what is it?
What's your thoughts on looks maxing?
Oh, I'm a looks maxer myself. I think it's really important to looks max. I feel horrible that Clavicular got frame mugged by an ASU frat leader, and I haven't really been the same ever since that happened. And I think it is important to prioritize your looks over anything else. Your personality doesn't matter anymore because we live in such a superficial society. So if you actually look good, and you could literally, if you're really, really good looking, you could be like a deaf mute, and this works for women too, and you would still be able to find a partner. I don't think that speaking or having an opinion, that really doesn't matter. Really what matters is just the vapid shallowness of being hot. So yeah, I love it. I've been bone smashing lately. My face is a little bruised right now, but they'll clear up. So are you a looks maxer yourself?
I think you kind of have to be. It's like if you don't looks max, you're gonna like lose. I mean,
I agree.
I think it's the most important thing nowadays. I mean, it's pretty simple too. Like, I wouldn't do the steroid stuff or the peptides. It's a little too far. I think
not me. I'm about to get on a bunch of peptides. If they would just come in the mail, I've ordered them all, but I'm taking every experimental thing that I can take. I'm done playing it safe. I'm playing it loose. I'm playing it fast, and I'm about to get hot, and the ladies are going to want me. I mean, they already want me a little bit, but they're going to really, really want me. So thank you for calling in. I really appreciate your opinion, and thank you for listening to WBAP 93.3 FM. So guys, I really appreciate y'all participating because, the show could be all about me, but we need to make it about the people because that's what my job is to do. I want to give the people's opinion out there because, we hear this mainstream media narrative all the time, and it's usually the opposite of what the people are really feeling and thinking. So we got Peter calling from Boston. Peter, what do you got for us? Do you think Nancy's alive or dead?
Unfortunately, I don't want to be rude or disrespectful, but I don't think she's here anymore.
Yeah, me neither. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Earlier, I said she's probably in a soup of sulfuric acid, but I think with these Epstein leaks, I gave a lot of killers an idea of what they can do to dispose of a body, but I hope I'm wrong. So she's sad and gone. I know Savannah's having a horrible Valentine's Day, and Nancy's obviously having a much worse one. So do you think this is just meant to distract us from actually going after the pedophiles and politicians that were recently released in the Epstein files? Like, why is this getting so much of our attention?
Well, I'll say this. Have you ever heard of the Hollywood actor Isaac
Cappy. Isaac Hayes. Isaac Hayes, famous Scientologist,
no,
chef.
Cappy. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I got the two mixed up because I had to Google his
You're
name.
very familiar with Isaac Cappy, and he talked about this. He talked about how allegedly Tom Hanks was connected to all this. And, there is some weird stuff with Tom Hanks, how he's America's actor. And, that's the guy that they'd want to corrupt the most, especially Tom Hanks. He's so influential. That would be the guy that you'd want to have leverage on because, you can basically create any narrative you want with him because he's such a great actor. So what do you think about Isaac Cappy and how this relates to Nancy Guthrie?
I think because her daughter was talking about Epstein on NBC, I think they took her mother out to shut her up.
Wow.
Because she's mainstream news. She's also not on a conservative network. Okay. That would wake up a whole bunch of idiots on the left.
I think you're right. That is really threatening to them to have somebody that's across the aisle and has the world's biggest platform. The Today Show is arguably one of the world's biggest shows. So I'm with you, brother. I think that there has to be some sort of connection to Epstein or Clinton because it's just the timing is too coincidental for me to believe that it's just all an accident or it's all just very random. It doesn't seem that random to me. And Savannah, I would just speculate that she's probably not going to talk about Epstein ever again. I mean, would you talk about Epstein if you were in Savannah's position after everything that's happened to her mom, or would you go and double down on your investigation of Jeffrey Epstein?
Well, if she found out her mother is gone, she might double down. You never know what's in somebody's head, but she may get so mad that she's going to go full steam on this story.
And I'd like that to happen, right? But if they took my mom or dad, I mean, I would double down, but then you just put the crosshairs on yourself. And I think Savannah knows that there is going to be some crosshairs on her, but I hope you're exactly right. So with all this situation and everything's going on, do you speculate it's going to last days, weeks, or months, or years?
I think it's going to last maybe a couple of years. I think what might happen, NBC may not renew her after her contract because they don't want her on the network anymore.
Wow, though. You think they'd punish her for this, though?
Yes. I think, and I do not mean to disrespect you, Alex. I love you, Alex. I think you're a great guy, and I love you. And I love Alex Rosen, the guy that goes after
great
pedophiles.
Guy. I love Alex Rosen.
Great guy. True American patriot. Okay? And I don't mean to be disrespectful. I do think there is a demonic group of Jews out there.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Well, I don't know if we can talk about that on the air. Gosh almighty.
I'm just saying, after the Epstein stuff, you can just see it.
Well, I think it's more than just Jewish people, but I see what you're saying. I mean, I guess with the Epstein stuff.
More than just it's more than just Jews.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. There was a guy that was talking about the Biden mask. I forget, it was a YouTuber, 500,000 subscribers.
Yeah, how it looked like he had a rubber mask. His face did look different. Okay, but we only got about a minute left, so spit it out.
Well, let me just tell you this. You look up Melanie King on YouTube. You probably heard of her. She found a video of Epstein that looks AI in the prison.
I think he's still alive. I think they even admitted that they had to use a body double to escort him out of the prison so that the media wouldn't look at it. And I think that it's probably a small chance, but I don't think it's a 0% chance that he's still alive, because I really don't believe the narrative that he hung himself by throwing him over a bunk bed, and then that none of the story of his suicide made sense to me from the start and up until today. So I think there is a small possibility that Jeffrey Epstein is still alive.
Well, other people were reporting that his Fortnite account, he was playing Fortnite.
He's still alive. I know. And then another publication, Ditch Magazine, supposedly used information from the email leaks and were able to log into his FedEx account. And it looks like he's gotten packages up until very recently at that same account. And maybe he didn't get the packages, but the account was billed and got packages. So a lot of stuff doesn't really pass the smell test to me. I think something very funny is going on. But I appreciate you calling in tonight. And if you guys want to call in and give your opinion, the number's 1-800-288-9227. We're going to be diving deep all night. We also have to celebrate Black History Month. We're going to talk about the truth of Rosa Parks. And did you know that Rosa Parks' husband? All right. Now you guys should be able to hear me. All right. Joe calls back. Guys, make sure to call in. The number's right there on the bottom, 1-800-288-9227. I think we got it where they're playing on the show. It looks like there's a little delay, but that's means we're going through the board. This network, they don't do video streams, so I'm just doing this on my own. So that's why it's not the best quality on the live stream. But I appreciate you joining us and watching with us tonight. Let's see. We're live right now. Okay, good. Okay, it looks like it's working. Yeah, we're working. All right, awesome. I like the Bobby Booey troll. That was funny. I'm the pimp on a blimp. It's okay. It is okay. There are some phone lines open. If you guys tried to call earlier and didn't get through, there are some open right now. But if you don't want to talk, you don't want to participate, I can't make you. I'm not going to twist your arm. Oh, let me pull up the clips. We'll go to Rosa Parks. Let's see.
She was.
All right, got that keyed up. Got this keyed up. You guys can't hear it, but we should have Joe Exotic calling in very soon, so that'll be good.
The search is going into its third week. I'm Daria Albinger, Fox News. The mother of NBC Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie is still missing. Max Gordon of Fox Business with the latest on the search for Nancy Guthrie.
Heavy law enforcement activity last night and a lot of hope that there was some sort of break in this case. But at this hour, no one is in custody, according to the Pima County Sheriff's Department. About a 5-minute drive away from Nancy Guthrie's home in the Catalina foothills, at least 2 SWAT vehicles were there, along with dozens of law enforcement officers. 3 people were detained at a home in the neighborhood, with authorities confirming that it was in relation to the investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Then, in the parking lot of a nearby Culver's fast food restaurant, law enforcement detained find another person and searched a silver or gray colored Range Rover. At this scene, there were law enforcement from multiple agencies, including the Pima County Sheriff's Department and the FBI. Law enforcement loaded the SUV up onto a flatbed and ended up taking it away. This as the search for the suspect continued.
The FBI has released a description based on the characteristics of a man seen in Guthrie's doorbell camera footage from the night of her disappearance. It says he's 5'9" to 5'10" and of average build. The U.S. is committed to ending the war between Russia and Ukraine. That's what Secretary of State Marco Rubio told U.S. allies as he addressed the Munich Security Summit.
What we can't answer, but we're going to continue.
To the U.S. soon after what could be a career-ending crash at the Winter Olympics. She's had 4 operations since she was airlifted off the slopes February 8th. Vaughn was competing despite injuring her left ACL last month. I'm Daria Albinger.
Happy Valentine's Day. You're listening to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP with your boy Primetime Alex Stein. You know, it's February. February is one of my favorite months. It's Black History Month, and you guys might not know this, but I'm 1/16 Black. So to me, it has a special meaning, and I really don't like a lot of people that try to denigrate me and my people, especially this month. And I think probably would have been better standard operating procedure if they didn't give us the shortest month. But, you know, what am I going to do? I'm not going to complain. At least they gave us a month. You know what I mean? The same amount of time, I think, as Pride Month. Oh, wait, I guess Gay Pride gets a little bit longer than us. But, hey, you know what? We love our gay listeners. Thank you. I think we already had a gay caller. We're very pro-gay and 2A. So if you're a gay man and you want to shoot a gun, I'll allow it. We're going to get to some more of your calls. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to participate tonight, it's 1-800-288-9227. But because it is Black History Month, I want to play a few clips surrounding the conspiracy about Rosa Parks. A lot of people might not know this, but Rosa Parks' husband actually owned a car, a Cadillac to be exact. And this is just a great clip of Joe Budden on his podcast just saying a small, simple fact. And this went super viral all over the internet. And this is one of the largest Black podcasts on the interwebs, the Joe Budden Podcast Network.
The internet has been...
Yeah, I don't know if I could hear that. Oh, we got to pod you up. Sorry.
The internet has been in an uproar since finding out that Rosa Parks' husband had a car.
Wait. Hold on.
Rosa Parks' husband had a car. That's not a joke. That kind of makes me question the whole validity of her bus protest. I mean, why didn't she just ride in the car with her husband? If he owned it, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And I wanted to dive a little deeper into this. And this is Stephen Davis, aka the MAGA Hulk. He's a friend of mine, and he works for Turning Point. And this is him diving a little bit deeper with an expert, and he's going to expose the truth about Rosa Parks.
Truth be told, Rosa Parks was a plant. She was the plan of the NAACP to participate in the activity that she participated in regarding the bus boycott. Was educated at a girls' school and eventually would find herself at this Highlands school in Tennessee. This school was known for kind of creating activists, socialists. Some even say that the school in particular is funded by communists. There was a young lady, in fact, months earlier who was involved in the same activity that Rosa Parks is now known for. Her name is Claudette Colvin. Claudette was a 15-year-old girl who got on the bus. Same situation, was told to give up her seat. She did not want to and was pulled off the bus, was taken in by police in the police car with these very racist officers. She underwent some pretty brutal treatment. The NAACP comes by and begin talking with her. And truth be told, they just thought that she was not a sympathetic enough figure to be utilized in the way that Rosa was. And so her story has gone untold until more recent. It went through the Supreme Court. We got a positive verdict. What's interesting about the verdict in the Browder v. Gale case is that Rosa Parks' name is not on any of the litigation. I think that's of note because the person that gets all of the credit for desegregating the buses is the act of Rosa.
Wow, Rosa Parks is stealing the valor of Claudette, the original person, a 15-year-old or 14-year-old who refused to give up their seat and go to the back of the bus. So the NAACP said, you know what, you're not as sympathetic of a victim. So we're going to use this woman, Rosa Parks, whose husband owns a car. So this is just another example of the history that they feed us. It's always a lie. It always has some spin. It always has some bias. It's ridiculous that they even teach us to normal people. I mean, I want a real school that teaches us real history and not this garbage. I mean, it's very frustrating when you actually hear Rosa Parks' husband owned a car and she's the face of a bus protest. And then when you look at the legislation and the lawsuit, she's not even named in it. That gives me clear evidence that Rosa Parks is just an actress on the world stage, meant to make you feel some sort of way, whether it was positive if you're African American or whether it was negative and feel guilty if you're a white man. And this can be extrapolated to a lot of situations. And I think that this actually does relate to what's going on with Nancy Guthrie, is that we're giving a lot of our attention to Nancy Guthrie, but the real criminal here is probably connected to the Epstein files or connected to the Clintons. Like, we're just getting the surface level information, but really if we were able to dive deeper like the FBI, we'd probably find out some disgusting, horrible truth that they'll tell us that we can't handle the truth. That's how they feel about us. They feel like we can't handle the truth. But you know what? I can handle it. I'm the pimp on a blimp. I can handle anything you throw at me. So come on, FBI. Come on, government. Come on, Pima County Sheriff's Department. We want the real truth. Now, we got a caller on line one, Jacob, calling from Austin. Jacob, how are you doing this evening? My pleasure. So what do you think's going on with this Guthrie thing? I mean, what do you think about all this? I mean, is it just meant to distract us, or do you think it's a bigger deal that Rosa Parks was I'm the pimp on a blimp. I can handle anything you throw at me. So come on, FBI. Come on, government. Come on, Pima County Sheriff's Department. We want the real truth. Now, we got a caller on line one, Jacob, calling from Austin. Jacob, how are you doing this evening?
Oh, I'm great, Stein. Thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure. So what do you think's going on with this Guthrie thing? I mean, what do you think about all this? I mean, is it just meant to distract us, or do you think it's a bigger deal that Rosa Parks was
everything is a distraction, dude.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Shapiro clip of him explaining that a couple of his people were involved in the Rosa Parks thing?
Yes, I have seen that. Well, they used that the ADL worked in concert with the NAACP. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
And he said it proudly. Like, the way he said it, it's like the way you're saying, like, oh, like Rosa Parks' husband had a car. Like, none of us ever knew that, but somehow Shapiro has the inside scoop on the Rosa Parks, and then it's just so proud about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you really look at what happened with Rosa Parks, Ben Shapiro's not really looking at that it was a boondoggle and that it was all a conspiracy, but he's just going to believe the official story and keep spreading that. So, I mean, I don't trust a word Ben Shapiro says. If he's talking, he's probably lying, sadly.
Bro, do not slander that upstanding gentleman.
We can't deny it. It's Valentine's Day. We can do whatever we want. They gave me the keys to the castle. So, and
have you seen that bit about the Nancy Guthrie thing? I heard that her son-in-law, her mother, the son-in-law, was involved. Have you heard that part?
No, I mean, I know that was speculation early on, but I'm not sure if they've really, decided that was a connected person, because they would have made an arrest if that was the case. Right. So the son-in-law would be arrested, the husband, Nancy's husband, who is allegedly connected to the Clintons, like all these people by now would be in jail if they really are using all their resources when it comes to Nancy Guthrie. Maybe they're just lying to us. They're not using any of their resources and they want this to go and drag on forever so that we're just constantly distracted. But I think the American public, our interests, we're losing it quick. And I would give it about another less than a month. By the end of the month, people are going to be tired about hearing about this case if we don't have any evidence showing us where the dead body is or who is responsible for this kidnapping.
But why? Like, no one knows why someone would kidnap this old lady. Like, that, the why is what is driving.
Well, I think it's to send a message, don't you think? I mean, to send a message to Savannah, maybe. And I'm just speculating this because she was one of the only people on the mainstream left-leaning network to actually interview one of the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. And then you have the connection of Bill Clinton being on the Lolita Express 27 times. There's a lot of weird connections that really make me scratch my head when it comes to this kidnapping of Savannah Guthrie's mother.
Yeah, bro, and I'm over here just wondering if George Washington Carver even invented peanut butter, dude.
Did he? I don't know. That's another one. I love peanut butter. You think they would have already had peanut butter invented? I mean, it's just mixed nuts. It's just like grinding up nuts. I eat peanut butter every day. It's one of the best things. I'm the plant-based pimp, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's other inventions like that where it's a little shady, where they give some guys credit. But a lot of inventions have been stolen. Tesla had a lot of his inventions stolen. So just because they say somebody invented it or they were the first person to create something, that's not always the truth.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna punch out in a minute, but what I want to say to you, dude, is I got so much enjoyment out of your appearance on Opie Radio the other day.
Oh, Opie's a man, right? Yeah, and I like Anthony too, but go ahead.
Dude, you did great. Like, I don't like Opie, but you made Opie entertaining for like an hour, like 50 minutes, and it was great. I loved it. And I'm gonna say this to you. This is my last thing. Luis J. Gomez is trying his hardest to get an Anthony Opie reunion for Skankfest, and I think you are in a real good position to help Gomez out on that one. Everybody wants to see it. We all want to see a reunion, even if they hate each other. We all want to see it.
Well, I've talked to Opie about this before, and not this time when I went on the air with him, but I talked to him off the air when we weren't online. And he's just, for some reason, he does not want anything to do with Anthony, but he'll make some clips about him. Like, he will talk about Anthony, but I don't understand why he won't get in the room, because
you got to get those views, bro.
Well, but in this fight of Opie versus Anthony would go do a podcast with Opie, and Opie won't. So I do think Opie's being stubborn, but at the same exact time, we don't really know what each other did to each other, if that makes sense. And I'm not trying to make an excuse for Opie, but maybe Opie feels like Anthony did something that's just unforgivable. And I hope that's not the case, but I want that just as bad as Luis Gomez. But I think with Opie, he's not the type of guy that you can make do something. You have to convince him that it's his idea. And, the longer I'm friends with him, I think that'll happen. Well, thank you for calling in, guys. And if you guys want to call in, the number is 1-800-288-9227. We're taking your calls all night long. You're listening to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM, WBAP.
These stories are making news in the week ahead.
The FBI has increased the reward for information in the Nancy Guthrie case to $100,000 after releasing a description of the prime suspect. Annual inflation cooled to 2.4% in January, hitting an 8-month low. NASA and SpaceX completed a launch sending 4 astronauts to the International Space Station.
Whatever happens next will happen here first.
News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
If you're confused about what kind of new car to get, where to get it, what to do with your old car, or whether or not you should buy or lease, you need to tune in to the Car Pro Show. Jerry Reynolds, the Car Pro here. Every Saturday, I give you 2 hours of straight talk and honest answers about everything automotive, and I can hook you up for a great deal and a wonderful experience. That's the Car Pro Show, Saturday mornings, 9 to 11, right here on WBAP, 820 AM, 93.3 FM, and WBAP.com.
Have you walked past a window lately and actually felt cold air, or noticed a room that just never seems to warm up?
Oh, now you guys can hear me. Okay, hold on. No, you guys can't hear that through. Oh. Well, we're figuring it out. We don't have it all figured out yet. Yeah, you guys can't hear me now. I got to switch inputs when I take calls. You guys can call in and talk about really whatever you want. Don't cuss. We have the dump button. Yeah, you guys can hear me good. You're listening to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP on this lovely Valentine's Day evening. I know that sounds a little redundant, but you know what I mean. I hope you're with a loved one. If not, you're with someone even better and more handsome than Pimp on a Blimp, Alex Stein. And if you are a gay man, you're welcome to fantasize it. Well, don't actually. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but you know what I mean. If you're with me, I have that effect on men and women. It's kind of a curse that I just tend to. People fall in love with me. There's a lot to love, as they say. But when it comes to the Nancy Guthrie case, there's nothing to love. The information that we're getting from the Pima County Sheriff's Department is not good. The weird AI videos, the kidnapping notes, it seemed like it's from people in Bangladesh just trying to get Bitcoin from TMZ and Savannah. Like, it seems like there's just so much fraud and not a lot of truth. And I think that this is a good example of basically how everything else operates when it comes to law enforcement and the government. It's very redundant. It's doesn't work. It's incompetent and it's slow. And we want stuff fast. In this modern era where everything is, at the tip of our fingertips, we want our information and answers as quick as possible. With ChatGPT, we want it instantly, but they're not going to give it to us instantly. They're going to just do a little drip, drip, drip. And that's how they blackmail politicians too. And maybe they're blackmailing some politician right now with this Nancy kidnapping. I don't know. I'm just purely speculating, but I do think that there's some weird dots that connect that paint a picture that you're not going to hear on the mainstream media, but you are going to hear that here on WBAP with Primetime Alex Stein. That's what separates me, and that's what makes me the best, because I'm going to give you the real, straight, hardcore facts, at least the ones that I know, with a little bit of speculation, but why not? That's always a little fun. I mean, we can't just sit here and be like robots. We got to have an opinion, and I think my opinion is that Nancy Guthrie's outlook is not looking good. Now, we got a caller, Jack from Caddo Mills, wants to talk about Nancy. Jack, you're live with the Pimp on a Blimp. How can I help you on this Valentine's Day evening? That's always a little fun. I mean, we can't just sit here and be like robots. We got to have an opinion. And I think my opinion is that Nancy Guthrie's outlook is not looking good. Now, we got a caller, Jack from Caddo Mills, wants to talk about Nancy. Jack, you're live with the Pimp on a Blimp. How can I help you on this Valentine's Day evening?
Yeah, it's kind of.
But that guy was on for a long time. When you're calling into the Primetime Alex Stein show, there's going to be some people that want to do a little bit of funny business. And I'm not talking about the kind of funny business that you would normally be doing on Valentine's Day. Instead, it's calling into this show and trying to get me in some hot water. But guess what? I like hot tubs. I like the sauna. So I like a little heat. I want to turn the heat up. It's not hot enough. And I need you guys to come here and really make it a little hotter. So appreciate you calling in. Don't appreciate the foul language. I think that you guys are very interested in the truth. And tonight, we're not going to figure that out. But there might be another Fox News breaking story of a bunch of cops around a Range Rover holding a big tarp, doing absolutely nothing. I mean, not finding any information to give us. And they've detained 5 people, but no arrests have been made. If they're detaining these people and they don't logically think that they are the kidnapper, why even go detain them? I mean, it's really embarrassing. I think that they should be very embarrassed. And the FBI should really be embarrassed, not just because of the Epstein, but also because this is a very famous woman's mother. This is national, world, global news. It's in your face. You try to look at your phone, try to look at the TV, and all you're going to hear is about the Guthries. And I'm getting really sick and tired of it. I'm sure you guys are getting sick and tired of it too. But, that's the world we live in. It's just like they just want to pound this into our head over and over and over. It's like they're kneading dough bread. They're just putting it right. It's like their hands are just gripping our foreheads and they're just massaging this information into our heads, whether we want it or not. And I'm sick and tired of it. I want some real information. I want to know, is Rosa Parks really a civil rights icon? I mean, we gave her the credit, but it seems like Claudette was the real first victim of the racial profiling that happened on the Montgomery bus line. So we really need the real truth. And that's what they do, is they kind of keep us in, I call it almost like a spell. It's a spell of misinformation, so that we never actually find the truth. And so that we'll just continue to fight and argue on the internet about it like a bunch of idiots. And they probably sit around and they laugh at us. The people that kidnapped Nancy and the law enforcement that's handling the case, just the level of professionalism has not been there. It's been embarrassing, and it's making us look bad on the world stage. And America's the greatest country. We got the best military on earth. We have the most tools in our toolbox compared to any other country in the world. And we can't find somebody that got kidnapped in Tucson, Arizona, and she's 84 years old on top of it. I mean, the clock is ticking. So I don't know if I feel that same sense of urgency coming from law enforcement. Now, if you guys have an opinion on this, please call in. The number's 1-800-288-9227. We're going to be taking your calls all night long. We're also going to be hearing from Joe Exotic very shortly. You guys want to hear that? He'll be calling straight from federal prison right here in Fort Worth, Texas. And I'm sure he has a lot of hot takes when it comes to this Nancy Guthrie. And I want to get his opinion on how much they've been playing it inside the prison. They always play what they want us to see on the mainstream TVs. And I think prison is a good example of brainwashing. You know, if you can brainwash the people that are in a prison, you can probably brainwash us that are in an open air prison. I think you could argue that because, you know, an illegal immigrant can come here without any passport. But if I went anywhere, if I tried to go to any country, they would stop me. You know, they would have me right there at customs. They'd say, you cannot get in. So it's funny how some people can move around freely and other people can't. So are we in an open air prison? I don't know. I mean, I think that is just, you could speculate that. I don't know if that's the truth, but it feels like that sometimes. Now, we got Larry in Austin. He wants to call about Nancy. Larry, how are you doing? And what do you think is going on with Nancy? You there, Larry? You could speculate that. I don't know if that's the truth, but it feels like that sometimes. Now, we got Larry in Austin. He wants to call about Nancy. Larry, how are you doing? And what do you think is going on with Nancy? You there, Larry?
I agree with you, though. I think it's crazy that that's pretty much all they show on the news today in the past week.
Isn't it getting redundant? Larry, you there? Well, looks like we lost Larry. Larry's probably calling on a cell phone, calling from Austin, Texas, but you know, what are you going to do? I'll just tell you this much. This is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about it for a little bit longer. Then we're going to kind of get into the occultism surrounding St. Valentine. And is Valentine's Day evil? I hope not. I mean, some people say that Christmas is pagan, and maybe a little bit. Some of its roots do come from paganism, but it's really about how you celebrate it. Now, if you are a person that is like an occultist, like Aleister Crowley, that worships Satan, then yeah, you're going to have a satanic outlook when it comes to these things. But to me, if you are a Christian and you love the world and you're celebrating you're celebrating Christmas, I don't think that there's anything demonic or satanic about that. But that is kind of what they do to us. They take these pagan holidays and then they misrepresent it to us. And Valentine's Day has similar connections. You know, in Jeremiah 10 in the Bible, it says not to cut down a tree and anoint it with gold and silver. And we do that every year. So it's kind of going total opposite of what the Bible says. And Jehovah's Witness, who was the fastest growing religion at one point, they don't celebrate holidays because they think that is not what the Bible would want us to do. And I think that they would actually have a fair debate. I don't know if I agree with them, but that's what's so good about the world that we live in, is that we have the First Amendment, that we have freedom of speech, that we can actually have these debates, and we're not all going to agree. Of course not. But we should be having these tough conversations one-on-one or, you know, on these media outlets so that other people can hear it and other people can make their own decision. That's all I want to do. Is I don't want to make you think the same thing as me, but I do want you to question the reality in which you live in, because not enough people are asking questions. And that's why the world is so screwed up. I mean, it's just that simple. And people are not motivated to find out the truth. And people are just motivated to pay their bills. And everybody's struggling financially, or at least the majority of Americans are struggling financially. People can't afford to buy a house. People can't afford to even pay their taxes. And you got to work 2 jobs. You got to have a regular job. Then you got to have like some sort of DoorDash or, you know, gig economy job. And that's not how the world's supposed to work. But then I did just see a clip of Elon Musk saying that you don't need to save money because in the future, we're not going to need to have money. It's very scary. And we're going to get to that coming up next. And I want to encourage you guys, if you guys want to call into the show, the number is 1-800-288-9227. We're taking your calls about Rosa Parks, about Valentine's Day, about Nancy Guthrie. Are you sick and tired of hearing it? I am. I'm more than sick and tired. But I got to talk about it because this is what everybody's talking about. we got to talk about this until we get a resolution, but I'm at my breaking point. I don't want to crack. I don't want to crash out. I'm sick and tired of talking about it, but we got a few more hours this Saturday night where we're just going to we're going to get dialed in to what's really going on. So I encourage you guys to participate. The number is 1-800-288-9227. The weather's nice outside in Dallas right now. It's cool, a little rainy. I'm sure you're with a loved one, cuddled up, listening to the show, and I really appreciate that. Don't try to get too distracted, though, with Nancy. Just really try to have some gratitude, because at the end of the day, your life's probably not that bad, and you're probably doing okay. But comparison is a thief of joy, and when we compare ourselves to other people, it'll just make us depressed. So you definitely don't want to compare yourself to primetime Alex Stein, because I just leave them all depressed. They're like, who is that sexy man? Smooth talking, 6'3", tall like a tree. Everybody wants to be me, right? Well, that's not always the case. I got my own problems too. I'd be spending this Valentine's Day all alone if it wasn't for all of you guys riding with me tonight. So thank you guys. And we're going to get to the future of the world. And Elon Musk says that you don't need to save money. You're going to be A-okay financially in the future. Sounds weird. Is it true? I don't know. You're listening to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP.
Well, it's back, and it's free. Hal J here with some great news from my DFW boat lovers. It's this weekend. The North Texas Boat Show is back at the Plano Event Center, running February the 12th through the 15th. Top brands like Bennington, Barletta, Cobalt, Regal, and Yamaha, pontoons, and more, all under one roof. It's all free and all at the Plano Event Center. Free parking and admission while exploring the only show with both new and used boats. For all the info, go to the North TexasBoatShow.com.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hi, my name is Jim, and I have low C. There, I said it. I started losing energy and becoming moody. Next, it was my marriage. With my low C, I just couldn't turn up the heat in the bedroom anymore. You see, low C is low comfort, and it's caused by worn-out heating and air conditioning systems. That's when a friend told me about the comfort maintenance program from Reliant Air Conditioning. I had an honest conversation with my service tech, and it turns out all I needed was a Freon supplement and new filters. Now, my C level is back to normal.
In a clinical study, Reliant Air Conditioning restored C levels back to normal in under 2 hours. Discontinue your low C treatment. That in-laws demonstrate tendencies to stay on a permanent basis. Common side effects include extreme comfort, reduced energy loss, and a very satisfied wife. To get your comfort level checked, call Reliant Air Conditioning at 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-YOUR-HERO. Or go to ReliantAirConditioning.com. Get your comfort checked and turn the heat back up.
Listen, if you're losing your hair and you...
Okay, now I don't think you can hear it. Should be okay. I think so. Roosevelt Media News. Is that the same Roosevelt Media News? I don't know if it is. Let's see. Yeah, I'm surprised. Do we not have any mods here? Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What happened to your old account? See, I don't even trust Roosevelt Media News. I appreciate you, but people make look-alike accounts to try to be a mod, and then they go mod out people that just want to be here normally. So we got to be very, very picky with who we mod from now on. So we'll figure it out. Yeah, well, hopefully we get to keep this radio gig. You guys have been crazy. Okay, you guys can't hear it. My new show's already started on Real America's Voice. Hopefully we get hired here too. That'd be nice. We'll be doing mornings. That would be very fun. If you guys want to call in, the number is 1-800-288-9227. It's right there at the bottom of the screen, scrolling by. Come on, guys. You guys need to. There's a few people on the line right now. All right.
For WBAP, I'm WFAA meteorologist Jesse Hawila. A lingering shower or thunderstorm will continue through the evening. Otherwise, we just dry out overnight tonight. Go down to 52. 67 on Sunday with mostly sunny skies. It'll be windy on Sunday. And then for Monday, President's Day, mostly sunny skies with a high of 73.
It's a news and information weekend on News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
You're listening to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP with your boy Primetime Alex Stein on this lovely Valentine's Day evening. I hope that's the right way to say that. I don't even know. I mean, it's Valentine's Day. It's not Valentine's Night, or is it called Valentine's Night? I don't know. We'll start calling it Valentine's Night. I mean, really and truly, I'm not a big guy when it comes to holidays. I mean, I celebrate a few of them, but I don't like to just, I think materialism is a way to just keep us in a constant state of depression. You know, it feeds your ego with meaningless nonsense and garbage that really doesn't make us happy at the end of the day. I mean, I know so many people, when they got their new car, they're just so afraid of scratching it and dinging it. So all of a sudden you think that you're so happy you got a new car, but you're constantly stressed that something's going to happen to it. That's why I think it's better to have a car you own free and clear that you can use like a tool, because that's
like
a hammer. It's a
well,
tool.
one like side recommendation I have is like, don't worry about like squirreling money away
trick
for
it up and make it fancy.
Like
a lot of that is just to please our ego. And I get it. We want to have nice things. We don't want to look bizarre.
Either we're not going to be here,
I mean,
or
you know, I don't care about looking bizarre in public. I don't care what people think about me. And the lines are packed. But before we get to the callers, I want to play this clip of Elon Musk saying that it's not going to be important to squirrel away money and save money. I think this is kind of a bizarre take, but let's see what he has to say.
You'll have the healthcare. You'll have the entertainment.
The way this unfolds is fundamentally impossible to predict because of self-improvement of the AI and the accelerating timeline.
Yeah, it's called singularity for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what goes happen.
Either we're not going to be here,
after the event horizon.
Exactly. You can never see past the black hole or the event horizon, the light cone.
Ray has a singularity out way too far.
That are true.
I mean, this is
saving for retirement will be irrelevant.
The services will be there to support you. You'll have the home. You'll have the healthcare. You'll have the entertainment.
The way this unfolds is fundamentally impossible to predict because of self-improvement of the AI and the accelerating timeline.
Yeah, it's called singularity for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what goes happen. What happens after the event horizon?
Exactly. You can never see past the black hole or the event horizon, the light cone.
I mean, Ray has a singularity out way too far. I mean, this is like.
I mean, I can't understand really what they're saying. I understand a little bit of what they're saying, but to me, it seems like they're speculating a future where we're all going to be in pods, just connected to the internet through a headset or through the Neuralink, and we'll be living in an artificial universe like the meta world or the metaverse, whatever you want to call it. And I guess money won't matter because we'll just have to pay a small fee to plug into the metaverse, and then we'll just watch ads in the metaverse. And maybe that will put money in our meta bank account. That'll pay for all of the meta food that we'll be eating. Because I'm not kidding when I say there is a dark future that we're going to be probably connected to machines, living in a fake world. And you're like, Alex, that would never happen. I would never agree to do that. Well, yes, you would. You would if they told you that, hey, here on Earth, on average, you live to about 75 years old. But in the metaverse, you get to live forever. And guess what? There'd be a line around the block with people wanting to plug into that pod. I guarantee it. Because people don't like the world that we live in right now. So if they could live in a fake one where they could be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, or they could be, you know, whatever their fantasy can desire. And some of these kids, they want to be furries, and some of these people want to be all kinds of things. You would be able to live out your wildest fantasy in the metaverse. And I think that's the stark reality of the future. It's not looking very bright. And you have a guy that's the richest man on earth saying we don't need to save money. Well, you saved all your money. You have all your money. You're a multi, I think $800 billion, I believe Elon Musk is worth. So very weird. A guy that obviously is very well versed in the financial world to tell us that we don't need to save money. It makes my stomach kind of feel uneasy. I don't know about you, but we got some callers that have been calling in. Let's go to Kyle. Kyle, what do you think about Elon Musk saying we don't need to save money? Don't you think that's a little bizarre?
I think it's a tremendous disservice to the human experience to take away, what we've built over the last 200 years. But what I'd really like to talk about, Alex, is the supersonic rise of Shmuel Buckman. Now, he is all about cloud. Do you think that him hiring the final boss to be his producer is what has transcended him into superstardom in the Dabbleverse?
No, the Dabbleverse is there's no such thing as a star of the Dabbleverse. So no, I don't think so.
You don't find Shmuel Buckman to be this year's?
No, this year is Karmic. It's Karmic X, but a lot of the people that are listening now have no idea what the Dabbleverse is. But yes, if we had to pick somebody, it would be Karmic X.
Well, don't you think he was last year? This is the year of Buckman.
I doubt it. Well, thank you for calling. I appreciate it. Guys, if you guys want to call in and give your opinion, the number is 1-800-288-9227. It's primetime 99 Alex Stein spending this Valentine's Day evening with you. We're taking your calls. If you guys want to talk about Elon, you want to talk about Nancy, you want to talk about Rosa Parks, you want to talk about Dallas, anything that's on your mind, let's talk about it. Let's talk to Gavin in Miami. Gavin, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome to WBAP.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I'm a long-time listener, just first-time caller. A little bit nervous, but overall, I'm honored.
Well, you're in Miami. I mean, are you spending Valentine's Day with Alex Stein, or do you have a big booty Latina nearby to keep you warm?
Just over here, man. I'm very. I don't go out in the nightlife. I was raised conservative my whole life, so I don't go out very much.
I don't blame you. Miami's a crazy place. I mean, everybody's on all kinds of MDMA. Yeah. They're on all kinds of gimmicks to stay up all night and party.
Yeah, and the law enforcement over here sometimes it's I mean they do their job, but crime could be a thing here too.
Yeah, so that's why every spring break they got to put a curfew in because everybody goes crazy, and that curfew is not just for college kids; that's for grown adults for exactly. That curfew. It's ridiculous, but they're overwhelmed with the people that want to party sometimes on South Beach.
Yeah, I remember during the back in the BLM riots, they tried to they tried looting at Bayside. And that was stopped instantly. The law enforcement do their job over here, but it's still a head on a swivel. It's a major city. Overall, it's nice and all, but me personally, like I see people living in the country. I'm like. That's kind of like the dream.
Wow, I know, but it's funny. Well, real quick, because I'm in Texas, and I always, I want to be next to the beach. You're right next to the beach, and really, you want to go to the country. I think that's proof that the grass is always greener on the other side.
It is absolutely, man, and it's something that I appreciate a lot of things that you guys have over there. Those that up north, and over here, it's. It's like, oh yeah, it's nice. You got the warm weather, you got the tourism, but it gets old, right? Just like everything else. But what really matters is family, and that's not like to raise a family here is probably not the best place.
You're not wrong about that. You're not wrong about that. Miami's probably a tough place to raise a family. Your daughter is going to be recruited into all kinds of bad nonsense if you raise a kid in Miami.
There's a lot of influence here. It's raising kids here with their, it's tough. Me growing up over here, you don't have that much options. You just have to grow up with the people next to you. And you don't get to pick your neighbors, and you're cramped up with a lot of people. So it's you got whether you're gonna have some good people and then you're gonna have some bad people.
Yep.
So it's about survival. It's about picking your friends and trying to make sure you're and it's tough being conservative in a major city, because it's like you're kind of
You're the only one. You're on an island. I know. I get it, Gav. I get it. It's tough.
Yeah. So so for me it's I see a lot of what you guys have over there, and it's like it's nice. It's kind of like always been a dream. Like I feel like I want to like build a castle somewhere, like just out in the country, like out like away from everything, just escape everything. But yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad. You got unlimited big booty Latinas, Gavin.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's not that bad. Let's be positive.
It's nice, but it's short. It's like it's kind of a short term. A lot of the people here, they're not. It's kind of materialistic.
It is, Gavin, but we're running out of time. Well, thank you so much for calling, Gavin. Have a good evening. All right, guys, if you guys want to call in, the number's 1-800-288-9227. Again, that number is 1-800-288-9227. We got the phone lines lit up. We don't have enough time to get to another caller, but coming up next, we're going to get to all the callers. Phone lines are jam-packed, so if you're calling and it's busy, just got to keep trying. I don't know what to tell you, but we're going to get to all of them tonight. We're going to be here till 9 p.m. Central Time, so I really appreciate you spending your Valentine's evening with a pimp on a blimp. I know it's not always what you expected. We all want a nice, fine honey dip to spend the evening with, but I'm the next best thing. Primetime Alex Stein. I'm going to give you some information that's going to blow your mind and really wake you up from the fake matrix that we all live in. So no better time and place than to do it tonight on Valentine's Day. I mean, I think it's the best time. But this Nancy Guthrie stuff, Savannah Guthrie and her family's having the worst Valentine's Day of their entire life. And she's 84 years old. So, okay. Yeah, now you guys can hear me. The world is materialistic. All right, we got some callers on the line. If you guys want to call in. At one point, we had all 12 lines filled up. We have some open now, so if you guys call, it shouldn't be busy. Earlier, all 12 spots were full. And then Joe Exotic will be calling in not this segment, but the next. So that'll be good. We're going to get to Joe Exotic, talk to him about what's going on with Nancy, talk to him what's going on with this court case. We got to get Eagle Ed Martin to get him out of jail. It's so annoying that it's been so hard. I've been working my butt to try to get him pardoned, or not even pardoned, to get his sentence commuted. Or it's not even a not guilty. They just let him out of jail. I mean, I think it's more than enough time that he served already. So we love the Tiger King. We support the Tiger King. We got Kevin calling in. We got a lot of people calling in tonight. Let's see. Oh, and then Drew in Arkansas. We got Aaron, Josh. We'll get to you guys. Shauna, don't be scared. You see the number right there, 1-800-288-9227. We'll be here till 9 p.m. But, it's so fun to do this show. I hope that we do get to do this in the morning. That'd be so nice if we get to do the morning show. You thought I was singing the songs? No. I turned off the commercials. I can turn them back on here in a second. This is my first time doing this and trying to figure it out. They did give me a lesson my first day, but they didn't show me how to set up StreamYard and stream from the studio. I'll get it dialed in. And tonight is Saturday, so not everybody is here. James Parker, one of the other hosts, he's the guy that showed me how to work the board, and the program director, but he'll be able to help me fix it. I think this Wednesday I'll be back. People said, when did I become a lib? I'm not a lib. I'm anti-government. I'm a conservative. I want to conserve the government. I don't want federal agents all over my street and house. If they want to get rid of illegal immigrants, yes, ICE can do it, and I think they should be doing it, but you got to stop these corporations from hiring them all. They would all have to leave. If Uber Eats and DoorDash couldn't hire an illegal immigrant, there would be some that stayed because they do illegal jobs already, but Majority would have to go, but we give them the ability to work here freely. That's the problem. That's why you get rid of all the immigrants. And people just want to label me something. They're just hating. They want to hate for no reason. It's okay. I'll allow it. I will allow it. It's not very lib, my meetings I've been going and talking about all the Indians. Kyle Dunnigan. I love Kyle Dunnigan. He's a good comedian.
Brands, The Ticket, The Wolf, and New Country 96.3, WBAP, KLIF, plus OTT, digital, social, and live events across 400 plus stations nationwide. If you have a media and digital background, the commitment and drive to win, this job is for you. Apply now at cumulusmedia.com/jobs. Cumulus Media is an equal opportunity employer.
From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
You're listening to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP, baby! I'm getting hyped up. It's Valentine's evening, and I get to spend it with all my friends right here in the DFW Metroplex. And I know that you're probably maybe with a loved one, maybe not, but let's just consider this a date. No diddy. If you're a guy, it's not a date. It's just, well, maybe it's just a friend date. Because you know what? We have a loneliness epidemic. I hate that that's the case, but a lot of people are lonely. Dallas got rated one of the best cities for singles, but I think that's actually a bad indication that everybody's single and not in loving relationships. And you look at all these dating apps and how superficial they are, just swiping left because they don't look right. When a lot of people look different in person than in their picture. Like they can make their picture look great. You know, there's a lot of catfishes out there. So just be very careful when it comes to the dating apps and trying to find a loved one. Don't force it. It'll all come to you. I mean, I've been in and out of love. Trust me. It's a complicated web that I've spun, but that's life, and life is not easy. And actually, I think you have to suffer a little bit, because suffering in life makes us tougher, and it makes the next challenge that much easier. And I hate to say that. I almost hesitated saying like we need to suffer. That makes me sound like I'm one of these globalists, one of these evil people that rule the world. I'm not. I'm the opposite of that. But I think that when you suffer and you go through some hard times, it makes those future hard times a lot easier. So that's just how it works. You know, no pain, no gain. You want to go get stronger, you got to lift some weights. You want to get stronger in life, you got to, overcome some obstacles. That's just the reality of the situation. But we could all just say we're victims, because I know that every single person that's listening right now has had something in their life that has been very challenging, and that you probably could just sit back and use that as an excuse for not being successful. But that's the difference between you and me and everyday other people that want to be, excuse artists. We're not excuse artists. We go out there and we accomplish our goals. We might not do it overnight. It might take a long time, but that's life. We're going to go towards our North Star, and just trying, even when we fail, the more you fail, the more likelihood that you're going to be successful in the future. Sounds weird, but that is the truth. Well, we got a lot of callers. Let's, Drew, you've been on the line for a long time. Drew in Arkansas. Drew, what do you think about this Valentine's Day evening and Guthrie and Rosa Parks and everything that's going on? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I think that you were right about the suffering. I mean, Rockefeller, he wrote to his son about how suffering makes people greater and stuff. About Guthrie, I think that's just they're just overexploiting it so they don't have to talk about Epstein. I mean, you saw Bondi when she was on the floor saying, look at the Dow, it's 50,000 up.
I know she has Dow syndrome. I mean, she's literally retarded. I hate to say it, but she is. And she just did such a poor job. And I see the people online that are defending her. It's like, I voted for Donald Trump, but just because we voted for him and we wanted him to win, I think that we are supposed to be different than the left, or we're supposed to be different than most people and call out hypocrisy and not just accept it and defend it. That's where I'm frustrated. The people that I can see if they're indifferent to it, but people are actually defending the hypocrisy like it's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. Exactly. I mean, and then when they do something, if I wrote a strongly worded letter to whatever governor, and they don't really, instead of like dealing with the whole problem over there in Minnesota, they just pulled out all the ICE agents instead of like dealing with, and that was what, like $9 billion that they took in potential fraud.
Oh my gosh, those Somali daycare centers are richer than all of us. They're probably richer than the people that own this radio station because they're able to do fraud. And we have a two-tier justice system where if you and I did that, we'd be held to the fullest extent of the law. But because they're Somali, they can basically just go back to Somalia and not face any repercussions. So I'm with you. I think that also when it comes to deporting people, if we really want to get rid of everybody, we stop facilitating the ability to make money in this country, because that's why people come to America, because it's the land of opportunity and they're all working for these corporations. Like even Donald Trump said it. Hey, we're not going to go after the illegals that are working in hotels. I wonder why. Maybe because everybody that is a housekeeper is a Latina woman, and I want amnesty for big booty Latinas. So that puts me in this moral conundrum. But what I'm talking about is we could stop this immigration problem, or at least curve it a lot, but they don't want to do that. They just want to go and put people on the street and use trauma-based mind control to scare us into compliance.
Yeah, well, I agree. And I agree with your like migration policy about if they're pretty, let them stay, but if they're not, send them back.
I agree. I mean, come on. A lot of guys are lonely. I was just talking about it. It's Valentine's Day. We got a loneliness epidemic. So if we're gonna have a bunch of illegal immigrants, we might as well have the best looking ones. I don't care about the smartest ones. I mean, maybe a couple of the smart ones can stay, but I just want the hot ones. I don't care about the rest of them.
I totally agree. And then you have those people over there in Somalia. I mean, you know that their primary means of income over there was piracy. I mean, what did they really expect when you bring them over here? A bunch of pirates. What did you expect them to
They're
do?
land pirates, daycare pirates. No, you're exactly right, Drew. Hey, man, I appreciate you calling. We got a bunch of other callers, Drew. You have a good Valentine's evening. Thank you for listening to WBAP. All right, we got Aaron in Missouri. You've been on the line for a long time. Aaron, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. I think this AI thing, I think it's going to kind of level off a bit.
In regards to what? In regards to Savannah Guthrie and how there's random AI images and videos that are being shared? Or are you just talking about in a more general, simplistic sense?
I mean, yeah, you can make pictures of people in bikinis.
Yeah,
I'll grant that, but like I'm a software engineer, and I don't think I really see it taking my job or anything.
You don't think AI can be take away engineering jobs? I think that's one of the jobs they probably could. I mean, they could just give it the old engineer plans, and I feel like engineers are definitely a threat. But I could be wrong. I'm not an expert when it comes to AI. So you feel safe as a software engineer, huh?
I feel so safe. No, I actually don't feel safe because they're diverting all the money to chips. So, like, to run these AI models, they got to invest in all the chips and the infrastructure and the power. And then what they're running into is like these context windows. Like, it can only understand so much of the program, so it has like a bunch of AI bots hallucinating to each other.
Yeah, I know, but did you see that was misinformation where they said that the AI bots created their own platform that was all a lie, and a bunch of people fell for it, even me for a little bit, that the AI was communicating with each other? I mean, they probably already do communicate with each other, but they're not going to go, I hope not, and tell on themselves and create a platform where we can kind of spy on their, computer to computer, AI to AI communications.
I mean, yeah, it's everything's fake now, so that's new.
Yes, we've known that.
But in terms of like replacing jobs, like they run into limits of like how much they can understand at once. So they try and break up the problem between different bots, and then they try and communicate each other to solve the problem. But then you run into like they don't fully understand the problem. They're just playing a game of telephone and hallucinating. So
I think you're right. I mean, there's a thing called the uncanny valley where like if these telecommunication companies, they spend billions of dollars testing whether or not that their AI software can trick a human and, into believing they're talking to a human instead of a AI customer service rep. And when they do these tests, everybody always figures out they're talking to a robot. It's like 100% of the time. I mean, different people find out at different times, but it's impossible to just recreate perfectly the same voice inflection and the same mannerism and just the pausing. It's just, they cannot get it right. There's an uncanny valley. But when you look at clips of Will Smith eating spaghetti, that's a famous AI video, in just the past 4 years, the quality has improved 1,000,000,000%. So I hope that we don't get it where AI is basically the same as a human being. But I saw in New York, they got a restaurant this Valentine's Day set up so you could bring in your AI girlfriend or AI boyfriend. So it's becoming more normal, and it's probably only going to become stronger and not weaker.
Yeah, I do think when it gets to like specialization in a certain topic is different. It is getting really good at the videos and photos.
It is.
I will say.
It is. Well, thank you, Aaron. Thank you for calling. And I guess Elon Musk says you don't need to put your money in a bank account because in the future it won't matter. I don't know what that means. I don't even know if I want to know what that means or what he's trying to speculate, but he was being a little coy. A lot of people were being coy. Pima County Sheriff's Department, the FBI, everybody surrounded with Epstein. Everybody seems to be playing a game of hide and go seek, but we're seeking. They're still hiding, but we'll find you. With time, we will find you all. And all you liars, everything will come to light. I promise you that. Because if you just really look at it in this media and digital media era where everybody and everything is on the internet, it's hard to really cover your tracks. And everybody leaves some sort of digital paper trail. So we're going to be able to find the evildoers that did this. And then we got a huge paper trail of Jeffrey Epstein. And hopefully Joe calls in. Let's see. Hopefully he does. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why there's a delay when I change the audio settings, but that's the only way you can hear the calls too. I'm sorry. We'll try to get it figured out what the right settings are. See, now it should be good. It's all good, but it's going to switch once we take calls again, but we'll be okay. Well, let me pull up this. Well, sorry guys about the delay, but it's just the way it is. Yeah, it's probably 5 seconds or 8 seconds delay. Yeah, it's perfect now, but then when we switch, it's going to be delayed. We'll get it figured out. I should be hosting on Wednesday. We'll see on Wednesday. We still got another hour of the show tonight, though, so show's not over yet. That's the number if you guys want to call in, 1-800-288-9227. Yes, it is because of the dumb button and the delay on the audio. That's why. Thank you, guys. No, you guys can't hear anything. Yo, yo, yo.
To your home, Clarity Windows and Doors. 820 WBAP, Fort Worth, Dallas. 93.3 WBAP FM, Haltom City, Dallas, Fort Worth. And KPLX HD2, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Missing 2 weeks today. I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. Yet investigators have not made any arrest or taken anyone into custody in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Last night, deputies and the FBI searched a house a couple of miles from Guthrie's home in Tucson, where they detained but later released 3 people.
The sheriff's office confirmed that what we were seeing on the ground is related to the Nancy Guthrie case. Because this is a joint investigation at the request of the FBI, no additional information is currently available.
Fox's Matt Finn reporting from Tucson. Investigators also tagged and towed a Range Rover from a restaurant parking lot. The International Space Station is back at full strength after SpaceX delivered 4 new astronauts today to replace colleagues who had bailed early last month because of health concerns. And it was the first medical evacuation in NASA's 65-year human space flight history. The new crew includes 2 astronauts from NASA, 1 from France, and 1 from Russia. More on the partial government shutdown. This happened after weeks of partisan battles over President Trump's immigration crackdown. And Republican Senator from Louisiana, Bill Cassidy, tells Fox News.
It takes 60 votes to pass something. You can be forced to stay in town, but still you're ignoring other responsibilities that you have. I'm actually at Mardi Gras, but on the other hand, I'll be meeting with people all this week related to the future of my state.
Democrats are calling for reforms to ICE before they will vote to increase funding for DHS. Homeland Security has had some funding still in place, though, because of the big, beautiful bill from last year. And the USA men's hockey team wins again, improving to 2-0 by topping Denmark 6-3 at the Milan Cortina Olympics. And American Jordan Stoltz skated to his 2nd gold. America's listening to Fox News.
Thank you guys for listening to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP on this lovely evening, Valentine's night, and the feeling's right. Speaking of Valentine's, here in the DFW area, Paris Adult Bookstore was raided by Dallas law enforcement because they think that that is a hub of sex traffickers. And I'm actually not surprised. I mean, we have all these influential people going to private islands with Jeffrey Epstein. So we know prostitution it's the world's oldest profession. We know that it happens. I mean, I think you could make an argument that, and I'm not saying this, I'm just playing devil's advocate, but if you did legalize it, there would be less incentive for pimps to traffic children because it's the same crime basically for trafficking an adult that it is for a kid. So if you did legalize it, they have it like in places in in Nevada. It seems like there is less child sex trafficking, but really I don't think prostitution should be legal personally. I just wish there was a way to stop these evil people from trafficking kids. That is the real travesty in the world, that a kid that is so vulnerable, that doesn't really know anything about the real world and will just take people's word for it, they get attacked by these people that are absolute predators. And they're at the highest levels of our government. And they're just also scumbags on the street, like the people that got arrested at Paris Adult Bookstore. And let's play this clip from Fox News Channel's talking about it.
There's a whole lot we don't know. Right now, we can really just tell you the basics. There were raids in DFW today, federal law enforcement, local police, but unfortunately, investigators aren't really saying why or what the result was of these raids. Federal and local law enforcement seen in and out of Paris Adult Bookstore off Harry Hines Boulevard.
Also scumbags on the street, like the people that got arrested at Paris Bookstore, at Paris Adult Bookstore. And let's play this clip from Fox News Channel's talking about it.
There's a whole lot we don't know. Right now, we can really just tell you the basics. There were raids in DFW today, federal law enforcement, local police, but unfortunately, investigators aren't really saying why or what the result was of these raids. The activity is part of an ongoing federal and local enforcement seen in and out of Paris Adult Bookstore off Harry Hines Boulevard following a Friday morning raid. At the same time, federal law enforcement was seen raiding a home in Plano Investigators, however, extremely tight-lipped. The Department of Homeland Security and Dallas Police Department only releasing the same exact statement, calling it, in part, coordinated enforcement activity at several locations across the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. The activity is part of an ongoing multi-agency effort focused on public safety and the disruption of criminal activity within the community. That messaging, timely, considering we heard this from the Department of Justice and Dallas PD last week.
If you're committing crimes and you're doing criminal activity in Dallas, we're going to come after you.
During a joint news conference, Project Safe Neighborhood was announced, using local, state, and federal resources to tackle an increase in organized crime in Northwest Dallas.
Disrupt and reduce violent crime linked to narcotics, firearms, and human trafficking.
Paris Adult Bookstore in Northwest Dallas sits in the middle of Dallas's Blade, a reported hub for prostitution and sex trafficking.
And that is what they call it, the Blade. Harry Hines is the roughest street in Dallas, and that's where all the night walkers go and walk every evening. It's called the Blade. The newscaster was being honest when he described it. And I think this is important because this is a problem that is very prevalent in every major city and probably small cities as well, that we don't even think about. We don't even think about the victims that are being humanly trafficked. You think it's all just some sort of right-wing conspiracy when that's not the case. This is real. They use foreign people to come here and they make them work in the massage parlors and do all kinds of things, like Robert Kraft, how he got arrested at Orchids of Asia Spa in Florida. And these women are forced to do the most disgusting, degenerate things to these men. And the sex traffickers and human traffickers use their passport as a way to hold them as victims of sex trafficking. I mean, this is what they use as leverage, and these people are forced to do the most heinous acts possible. So this is a problem that wasn't just exclusively related to Jeffrey Epstein. This is a problem that's happening all over the United States, and that's affecting people here in Dallas, so much so that they have to have a task force working with the Department of Homeland Security to make our neighborhoods more safe. Because on Harry Hines, some of the stores are okay, but that area just breeds crime, and it breeds gangbangers and cartel members and all kinds of society's worst people like to hang out on Harry Hines. And hey, I'm going to be honest, I hang out on Harry Hines. No, I'm kidding. I don't hang out there that much, but I have shopped at some stores there, and it's right near my neighborhood. So I'm no stranger to Harry Hines, but I don't go there for the funny business, if that's what you're thinking. You need to get your head out of the gutter. So the reason why I want to play that clip is because, we got Joe Exotic on the line. All right, let's put Joe on. Guys, we have the one, the only Tiger King on the line. Joe, are you there, my friend? Joe, you're on WBAP. How you doing, my friend?
Good. How are you doing?
Man, it's good to talk to you. It's been a minute. I just want to tell you, I've been bugging the hell out of Eagle Ed Martin, and he's just coming up crickets, and we're not even asking for a pardon. We're just trying to get your sins commuted. So
yeah, and I don't understand what the holdup is.
You and I both.
Do they not watch world television where they all admitted to perjury? It's like, what the heck?
I know. What did you think about this Epstein release and all of the people that are implicated in it?
It's hard to tell what you don't know who to believe anymore. It's hard to believe what's real and what's not anymore.
Well, did you see that they call jerky human meat? I do believe some of them are cannibals eating humans. I know that sounds insane, but I believe it.
That's pretty far-fetched though, but I saw on a news article the other day that the day he got indicted, he ordered 350 gallons of sulfuric acid that would dissolve bodies. So who knows what?
Yeah, I didn't even know that you needed to buy that much sulfuric acid and that it would do that. I mean, I watched Breaking Bad. I guess that's what they used in that show, but it blows my mind. So what do you think's going on with Nancy Guthrie? Do you think this is an inside job, and do you think she's still alive?
Okay, as an ex-police chief, she's gone. I hate to even put that heartfelt feeling out there for anybody to go through this, but I believe she was dead the first day.
Yeah, I do too, especially with the blood, no medication.
Well, and nobody changes ransom dates. You know what I'm saying? If you miss one date, we're going to let you have another one 4 days away from that.
I know you're supposed to mail a toe or something back. You know, if they don't send it, you're supposed to cut a lock of hair. We haven't had any DNA evidence sent to us, so that's a bad.
It just doesn't work that way. You know, that doesn't. And I think they're covering something up because they're not telling us anything. But you know what I think is unfair, Alex, is just because she's a reporter on national television, what has she gotten? 2 weeks of complete airtime?
Yeah.
Non-stop. Okay? And if that was your mom, you would have to be paying for TV ads to help find your mom.
Oh, they wouldn't care. Do you think she's going to get fired, though, because of this?
Who knows?
Who cares? You know, why do we don't even care about Savannah Guthrie? I know you don't care, but it's just everybody's talking about it, and it's just, I'm sure, in the federal prison. How does that work? What's on the TV there, and what are the people talking about at the Fort Worth Correctional Facility?
I mean, you know, we have a ton of televisions around here, and you know, a lot of them stay on Fox, and a lot of them stay on CNN. You know, and the other ones stay on sports, but. You know, the inmates are the same way. You know, we're tired of seeing it. We're tired of hearing it because if that was my mom, you wouldn't be hearing about it, you know. But everybody thinks that she's already dead.
Yeah, I think that's probably the truth. So, Joe, how do we get you out of jail? And that you actually did say it best, because I talked to Eagle Ed Martin. He didn't even watch Netflix. Like, he's aware of you because you were a cultural icon, especially during the pandemic when we were all glued to our telephones and TVs. But I guess he wasn't. And I know Ed decently well. He isn't the type of guy that would watch a reality TV show, whether that's good, bad, or indifferent. So how do we, like, what can I do to help? What can all the listeners do to help you?
You know,
this call is from a federal prison.
I saw for the second time about 2 weeks ago when President Trump was doing that speech in the Oval Office, another reporter just come blatantly out and asked, "Are you going to pardon Joe Exotic?" And he did the exact same thing he did in 2020 during the briefing at the White House, where he said, "I'll look into it." You know what? I don't know what it's going to take to look into it, because they admitted on world television that they committed perjury, and we have those affidavits, you know. But really, I think the governor of Colorado thing is the best avenue.
Yeah, and explain that again, just for the people that are listening.
You know, it's a win-win for everybody. President Trump wants Tina Peters out of prison, and he can't get her out of prison because she's in state prison. And, you know, it would be a win campaign for Governor Polis if he would do America's first prisoner swap, to swap me for Tina Peters, you know, and demand that. I mean, he could, right now, if he knew how to play poker, you know, he could play poker because he's openly gay. You know, he's not against immigrants, you know. He has Trump's right-hand lady in his prison for election fraud. And, you know, here's Tiger King. The world wants Tiger King out of prison. And Governor Polis should say, hey, look, you know, you quit taking the funding away from Colorado, and you commute Joe's sentence, and I'll commute Tina's sentence, and everybody's happy.
No, I know. And they just got out Steve Womack, a congressman's son, James Philip Womack. He was a meth dealer, and they just pardoned him. So if they tell us optics, I just don't believe it. Well, Joe.
You know, that's the part I don't understand, Alex.
Joe, we got to go to commercial. Hang up and call in after the break, because I want to get on the second half of this. But
I got to wait 30 minutes. So I can call you at 8:45.
Okay, call at 8:45. We're going to end the show with you. Call at 8:45, Joe, because we got to go to commercial. They're yelling at me. All right, guys, you're listening to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM, WBAP.
After weekend storms and lots of rain for parts of North Texas, we head right into spring-like weather. Will we see severe storms? We'll cover it all with Weather on the Ones.
And lots of reaction and fallout already. So whose name will pop up in the horrific Epstein files next? That's at 7:17.
I'm Ernie Brown.
I'm Carla Marion.
Monty Cook has your news headlines at the top and bottom of each hour. Julie DeHardy has your traffic, and Chief Meteorologist Brad Barton has your Weather on the Ones. Plus, Al J has the laughs.
Monday morning, 5 till 9 on WBAP's Morning News on your Texas voice for common sense. News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM, WBAP.
Now just think about this for a second. 40,000 people. That's not a crowd. That's a small city.
If you guys want to call in, the number below is 1-800-288-9227. We're going to be taking some more calls, so feel free to call in. Yeah, there is a delay, guys, because we have to have a dump button in case you guys get all freaky deaky on the air. Now there's not a delay because I changed input. But in order for you guys to hear the callers, I have to go to the delay input. So I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. But I think there is a way to do it where there's not a delay, I think. But we'll figure that out this week, hopefully. It's Valentine's Day. This show's been fun. I feel like we haven't been able to get to enough callers. We've gotten to a few. Next caller wants to talk about Rosa Parks. I like that. Let's see. Valentine's Day segment. All right. Got that pulled up. We don't need that. We don't need that. Let's see. Thank you guys for listening. No, it's free to call in. It's just an 800 number. What does that mean, cost money? It doesn't cost any money. What call-in shows cost money to call in? I don't know. I guess to vote in American Idol, did they used to bill you? No, I don't know. It is an 800 number, so you can call from a payphone if those are in your neighborhood. I doubt it. I don't think they're in hardly anybody's neighborhood. The number's scrolling right there at the bottom, 1-800-288-9227. Not that hard. We do have some callers. Chad's calling. Michael. All right, if you guys want to call in, and then we're going to have, we got Joe Exotic coming on too. You know where you're listening right now? You're listening to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP with your boy Primetime 99 Alex Stein. We got some hardcore rock music. That makes me just, I feel like I want to, it makes me want to speak in a more raspy voice when we have that hard rock. There's something about that just puts me in the mood to rock and roll. And I hope you guys are ready to rock and roll tonight because it's Valentine's Day and love is in the air. Even if you're single, you're rocking with me right now. So you can feel that positive vibrational energy through your radio right now. I know you can feel it and hear it. So just enjoy it. Don't try to fight it. That's oftentimes the case with people when we get that positive vibrational energy from people. We're just not used to it. And a lot of times we just subconsciously fight that good energy away. So let your guard down when it comes to other people and making friends. But when it comes to trusting the government, stick your guard way up because the government is going to lie to us. That's what they do. They like to pee on us and tell us it's raining. And I don't like that. You shouldn't like that. And we shouldn't stand for it. We got to stop the constant lies and live in a world full of truth. But when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein and his connections to elite people, I don't know if we're going to actually get any more truth. And I think they're just going to continue to pit us against one another so that we don't actually solve the problems that face most American citizens. And that's why they do this. That's why they pit black versus white, women versus men, gay versus straight. They want us constantly fighting. They want us distracted. And that's why they're going to play the Nancy Guthrie case on every channel that you turn to. You're going to hear Nancy Guthrie. And you're going to hear 10 different stories with a lot of misinformation so that there's more ammo to debate each other. And really nobody's right because we don't know the truth. So it's all just speculation and ego. And that's why we got to check our ego tonight and just relax and try to be positive. Even though the world's a scary and crazy place, we got to have a little gratitude that we're even alive today because that's the lottery we won, the lottery of life. I mean, if you think about the thousands of grandparents that we had to have before us and everything had to go exactly right for us to be here. If you look at it like that, we basically won the lottery just by being born. But it doesn't feel like that. And sometimes it doesn't feel like life's short. Sometimes it feels like life is long because we have so much stress and anxiety from our bills, our friends, our family, our girlfriends, wives, husbands, boyfriends. We kind of just lose sight of what's really important. And that's being happy and spreading positive energy. And that's what this show is all about. And I know we've talked about some topics that'll put you in a dark rabbit hole for a while, but I'll help you check out of it for a little bit on this Valentine's night and we can have some fun. So we got a caller, Chad, calling from Wisconsin. Chad, what do you got for us this evening? I'm doing good, Chad. It's a nice Valentine's Day. Nobody I'd rather spend it with than you. So thank you for joining us. What's happening, brother? Being happy and spreading positive energy. And that's what this show is all about. And I know we've talked about some topics that'll put you in a dark rabbit hole for a while, but I'll help you check out of it for a little bit on this Valentine's night and we can have some fun. So we got a caller, Chad, calling from Wisconsin. Chad, what do you got for us this evening?
Oh, hey, Alex. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Chad. It's a nice Valentine's Day. Nobody I'd rather spend it with than you. So thank you for joining us. What's happening, brother?
Oh, not much. Not seeing more than 3 minutes of anything is your messaging or what your show is about, anything like that. Oh, Texas. Hey, Texas. I had a great vacation in Texas about 8 months ago.
Where'd you go?
Near, I'm forgetting the name of the place.
What airport did you fly
Padre
into?
Island.
What airport did you fly into?
Brownsville, South Padre Island.
Oh, South Padre Island. I love it. And then even Galveston, anywhere, people don't realize we actually have some okay beaches and they've gotten prettier somehow. They used to be worse and now they've gotten prettier. And I love the Gulf Coast of Texas. I think that's why it should be called Gulf of Texas, in my opinion, even more so than Gulf of America, but I'm partial to Texas. So you had a good time on the beaches of Texas.
Overall, it was one of the vacations where my better half, she wanted to go. She planned it. I kind of lump in the mud,
Yeah.
We got there. Never played in the ocean that much. And 2.5 hours into being in the water, just burnt myself the next Tuesday. So
you got sunburn that bad? Well, I don't believe in sunscreen. Yeah. I think there's a lot of weird stuff with sunscreen. I know it probably works, but I think that there's a lot of side effects they don't tell us about. I forget which sunscreen company had to pay out a big settlement because their sunscreen was causing people cancer. And I'm not saying all sunscreen causes people cancer. I'm just saying there's something weird about it that we have to put it on our skin. And I know I've dated people that had to use it. They wouldn't even go out in the sun if they didn't have it on because they would burn so fast. Are you naturally fair-skinned? I mean, I'm guessing you probably burn easily if it was only 2 hours.
It was bad. It was really bad. It was about 2 months that I was so burnt. So.
And you were peeling, and were you able to be romantic with your loved one? Did it cause you problems in your love life?
No. I watched the new Mortal Kombat movie. That's how painful I was. I was in the hotel room.
Well, that's going to cause more pain to your love life, telling your wife I'm watching the Mortal Kombat movie. She's probably like, what is this goofball doing? Unless she watches it with you. Does she like Mortal Kombat?
She came back in after wakeboarding, where she went, or surfing, where she went on a private
see, timeout, TV timeout. I don't like my girl going on any private surfing lessons. I don't like any of that private stuff. That's those surfers that they made that movie Forgetting Sarah Marshall. The surfers are the first guy that's going to swoop in on your girl. You never leave your girl with one of those surfer guys that are probably smoking Lord knows what, getting her on some of that left-handed marijuana or left-handed cigarettes.
Alex, you can rent actually, this is me doing promotion from Wisconsin for Texas, for South Padre. There's a guy who you can rent a lesson with for surfing who has a dog who surfs with you.
Well, that might give me anxiety. That is cool, and we were giving them a little commercial, but I don't know if I really like the guy throwing his dog out there. There's sharks.
My better half said it was the greatest thing she'd ever saw. It gave her so much
but she's a woman. These women are impressed by the color pink. They don't need any substance. If I saw that guy, I'd say that's shark food, and that
women
dog
are amazing.
shouldn't be on that surfboard.
No, women are amazing, Everybody's
They
amazing.
are
But it's
amazing.
amazing,
I'll
like
give you
you
that.
mentioned.
Women are amazing, but what I'm saying is,
You-
we love women.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that impresses a woman doesn't impress us, and that's vice versa. You know, there's stuff that impresses us that would not impress a woman. So, I don't know. The surfing dog gives
Sure.
me anxiety.
It was fun for me to hear while I was dying in a hotel room, not being able to do nothing. But anything you want to ask about me or Wisconsin or?
No,
any
I mean, I love
topics
the
of your
Wisconsin
show?
cheese. Are you kidding? I hate the Green Bay Packers, though. You know, everybody down here, we're Dallas Cowboys fan.
Cowboys are fun, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're
No,
America's team. We just can't win a championship in the past 30 years. They're constantly keeping us in this depression state where all we want is to even go to the NFC Championship game. I mean, that would at least feel good, but we can't even get there. So Dallas Cowboys have not been successful whatsoever in the past 30 years.
Right. Any questions about politics or anything your show is involving that maybe I'm
No, Chad, no questions for you. I'm the Pimp on a Blimp. You asked me the questions, but listen, Chad, thank you for calling. We got a bunch of other callers. Really appreciate you staying on hold. I know you're on hold for a while. Well, guys, coming up next after the break, we're going to get to the rest of the calls. The board is lit up. If you want to call in, the number is 1-800-288-9227. But I want to make this point when it comes to this evening as a whole, Saturday night. It's been so much fun to spend it with you. And you know, we watch so much content. We really need to kind of curate our content better. And I'm not saying don't watch it. It's just you need to realize what you're watching. And if it seems like they're lying to you, they're probably lying to you. They say that our gut is our second brain. I wish more people would make decisions with our gut. I go by my gut, and sometimes I overthink stuff. I'm not 100% of the time, and if I followed my advice all the time, I'd be 100% successful, but even I disregard my own advice. But my point is, I wish we went with our gut more. And if these law enforcement officers that are handling this Nancy Guthrie kidnapping, if they were using their gut instead of their brain and artificial intelligence, I think we would have already found the kidnapper. And I really encourage you guys to do that and not to overthink things. Because I know somebody's probably like, oh, I want to call in, but I'm nervous. What is Alex going to say? I'm going to be nice to you. It's going to be a good time. You know, it's a lot of people are going to hear it. And if you're shy, you might not like it, but you're on the radio. So maybe use a fake name. I don't know. You're not going to get caught. You're not going to get fired for work unless maybe you say something really crazy and you work for HGTV and then you say N word and then you get fired. So my point is, think with our guts, guys. And if our gut is telling us that Epstein was connected to the most influential people in the world, then go with our gut. We don't need to overthink it like a lot of these left-wing pundits and even right-wing pundits that want to make you overthink the truth. So I really encourage you, if you're worried about trying to ask somebody out, you're shy, you're nervous, you are alone this Valentine's Day and you want to change that, well, think with your gut. Don't think with your brain and don't overthink asking somebody out. You know, rejection is good. Believe it or not, like I was speaking earlier, a little suffering makes us stronger. We don't want to live in constant suffrage, of course, but Gary coming in here. All right, looks like everything's going good so far. Thank you guys for listening, watching. If you guys want to call in, the number's on the bottom of the screen. 1-800-288. It's doing good. Cheers. Cheers. The show's going good.
Yep, it is. Got a lot of people calling in from out of state.
I know. Well, that's because we posted online. But did we dump the F word in time?
Yeah.
I dumped it immediately. But
Yeah.
so does it double dump if I hit it? Is it?
If you hit it and we hit it in there, it's totally fine.
It dumps. Yeah. Okay, good. I had my finger on it. But and Joe Exotic's going to call back in, so we need to end the show with him.
Yeah, I'll come by at 8:45, and then that's.
Yeah, and then we'll take him to 57. Okay, perfect. Well, the show's basically over because that segment, and then this next segment, we'll try to get as many callers. And then,
I'll tell you what, I scared the crap out of our news guy today, John Rusty. I came in there, he used the restroom, and I came in there and just stood there, and I stood behind the door. So
was the light off?
Yes.
Oh, that's creepy. Turn off the light real quick. It's dark in here. It's like, it looks scary in here. Well, now it didn't look that bad.
And I walked in, he was looking at watching the videos, didn't even notice I was in. I was just behind the door, like right here. And he walks in and didn't see me. And he's like watching his video, and I say, yeah, let's get going with it. And he was like, get the actual fuck out of here.
I know. Well, and Gary, you know what's funny about you is, and I mean this in all compliment, no diddy. You do seem like you have a little Jeffrey Dahmer because you're kind of a handsome young man. You know what I mean? That's the real killer. You know, the killer doesn't look like a sloth. You know, you're a good looking guy. You know, you look like a nice, respectable young man. You would be the killer because they wouldn't expect you to be the killer.
Yeah, it's like Ellen DeGeneres, where I thought she's so nice. I'm just like, actually.
I know she's actually not. That's you. You are the killer. Well, we got some calls. Hopefully, we don't get any F-bombs. But No, the show's been easy. I don't know if we played enough clips, but
It's really been a lot of early call. I mean, there's like a
yeah.
lot of, people calling in.
Some of the calls have been kind of boring, though. I mean, I'm not even trying to be rude. It's like
A lot of them think that I'm you.
I know. Are they cussing you out? Like, oh, Alex, or
Or they're saying, hey, Alex, just want to say, I really like when you came up here one time. It's like,
yeah. Notice that. That's why it is important. That's why I love to go and talk to people on the street and stuff because, shit, I'm not even hearing the show. Now I am. I'm saying that's why I like to go meet people because then that's how you become connected with them forever. That's like you become a bigger fan. And that's how I am. I'm a bigger fan of people I've met in person. That's why I try to meet as many people. All right, cool. Thank you, Garrett. Oh, it's Nancy Mace's happy birthday. Oh, we gotta let's somebody needs to send it to you need to screen record it and send it to Nancy Mace or tweet it at her and I'll retweet it. This pen sucks. Mar-a-Lago Club. We got a lot of callers. There's not that many spots left. Now all the spot, well, not all. Somebody just dropped. Yeah. Chad, which was Thank you guys for listening to News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP with your host with the most, primetime Alex Stein, and we're having a great Valentine's evening right here in Dallas, Texas. I'm looking out there on the promenade, I guess, or the pavilion. I don't even know what it's properly called. And there's love in the air, but I have seen a few Latino women fighting with their boyfriends, but that's just standard operating procedure. If you're a big booty Latina, you're going to be a little feisty, and that's why we love you. Because we like a little, chutzpah in a woman. We like a woman that's got a little, fight in her. We don't want these women to just lay down and be docile. We want a little spice. A little spice is always nice. And then speaking of spice, we got a bunch of callers on the line. Don't be too spicy, guys, but bring your best questions and your favorite Valentine's Day moments. We don't care what you want to ask about. Anything is acceptable right here on WBAP when you're rocking with Primetime Alex Stein. So let's start with Lewis in Florida. Lewis, what do you got for us this evening? Oh, monolithic. Lay down and be docile. We want a little spice. A little spice is always nice. And then speaking of spice, we got a bunch of callers on the line. Don't be too spicy, guys, but bring your best questions and your favorite Valentine's Day moments. We don't care what you want to ask about. Anything is acceptable right here on WBAP when you're rocking with Primetime Alex Stein. So let's start with Lewis in Florida. Lewis, what do you got for us this evening?
Hey, Alex, it's me, Monolithic Ethos.
Oh, Monolithic. We know you, Monolithic. I saw you just you tweeted at me or you Instagrammed at me that, what were you at, a poetry slam? Were you trolling these people? What happened?
Yeah, it was a poetry slam. It was PSL, the Party of Socialists and Liberation, hosted a Valentine's Day poetry open mic, and me and a bunch of people from Turning Point, and in a college, college kids just decided to cause some chaos at this poetry slam.
Did it get shut down? Were they able to finish the event? What happened? Can you tell us?
they kicked us out, and I'm
Oh.
banned from the coffee bar. The coffee.
Oh, you know what's funny? They probably make awesome coffee. Nobody makes coffee better than a blue-haired liberal. I mean, they are the best because really, I think I dumped in time. All right, Jacob in Orlando, what do you got for us this Valentine's Day evening, brother?
Hey, Alex, good to talk with you. Enjoy your show. I wanted to say, many people are single, and 25% of all 40-year-olds in the United States have never been married. It's about 100 million folks that have never been married. And what I'm trying to do is help people find love. And with my new dating app, it's called nevermarrieddating.com.
Wait, I kind of like that idea, though, because everybody's trying to look for a new angle. And one, this woman's going viral where the guys can give her money before the date, which is basically like a prostitution app, but she justifies it like you're paying for her makeup and her dress and all of the accoutrement that comes when a woman is going on a first date. Because, they say, oh, well, the guy has to buy the expensive dinner, but we have to spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on our nails and hair. Like, that's our problem. But well, your dating app is specifically for people that have not been married yet. Can people be on the app if they have been married, or they're excluded from it totally?
Well, in today's world, we can't discriminate against anybody, so we allow them to come on. But we say it's the greatest resource to find somebody that's never been married. It's nevermarrieddating.com, and it's also on the Samsung Galaxy App Store and Amazon App Store.
Do you have a lot of users on the app? I mean, I like this idea. I'm not just blowing smoke.
600 people that have joined, 600, and it's worldwide. I did notice some folks, women from Ukraine, were joining it.
See, that's the problem real quick, though. That these other women, it's like these Somali daycare scams. They see, oh, well, here's some vulnerable guys. They're going to lie, say they've never been married. They're probably married at the time, and they're in Somali catfishing some guy to send them money over there. And that's the problem with the internet is you can't really trust anything with AI. I saw a video of an overweight Indian guy, and he was moving, and all of his facial features were perfectly being mimicked by a hot blonde girl. So it's hard to believe what's on the internet. If you can't touch it and feel it with your hands, guys, I wouldn't believe it. I mean, that's my only advice. Like, you can ask a lot of questions. You can usually figure out if it's a real person if you've had enough conversations and FaceTime videos. But even with modern technology, they can lie on a FaceTime video where you can be talking to like a 300-pound Middle Eastern guy that looks like a blonde, pretty babe. So it's scary.
Very true, Alex. That's why we like our T-shirts to say, find me on nevermarrieddating.com, and you wear it to Walmart or Shot Shopping, and people will say, hey, what's that shirt you got on? It says, find me on nevermarrieddating.com. Like if you're at college campus or maybe at church or maybe out.
You think, though, if you go to a church where you can wear a dating app shirt, that's okay? If I was a pastor of that church, you would be excommunicated. It would be like how they do it in the Church of Scientology. They kick you off to Z News land, and you're not allowed to communicate with us anymore.
Well, thanks, Alex, for talking with us a little bit and talking about our website and nevermarrieddating.com. I really appreciate it. I just sent a tweet out to our followers, and maybe you'll see it and see the video. I made a short little video about the T-shirt commercial. So.
Well, do not wear that shirt to church if you go to a respectable church. Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate you calling. And I hope we can help other people meet other people, because that's really what's the problem with society. We talk about the loneliness epidemic. It's not only affecting men, it's affecting women. And they say Dallas is one of the best cities for singles, but I think that just means that there's more single people than anywhere else. So maybe that is an indication that it's actually hard to date and have a successful relationship here. I don't know. I mean, you can look at it half full or half empty. And sometimes I do say, Alex, you're being too pessimistic. You got to be positive. And I don't follow my own advice, but this dating scene and this modern dating world that we live in, where everything is so superficial and materialistic, it's really making the hopes of finding a true love harder and harder. And then you look at the stats that 50% of marriages end in divorce. And my parents got divorced, and I mean, it was a traumatic thing as a kid. I would hate to have a kid and put them through a divorce. I know a lot of kids are affected by it. So it's just really, really hard. I remember when Facebook first started to blow up, the divorce rate went up because people were able to connect with older relationships that they had in the past, that they didn't have a way of connecting with those people. And so they ended up cheating on their wives, and it caused all kinds of problems. So I think that's just like one clear example of how the internet can make okay relationship, a marriage, totally fall apart. So be very careful with these dating apps. I don't really encourage you to put all your resources into that, because the women get over 1,000 times the amount of messages the guys get. So it's an asymmetrical dating pool where you're fighting 1,000 guys and she has the pick of the litter. And it might sound good for her, but if there's a girl that likes that and doesn't feel overwhelmed, then she's probably one of these freaks that you probably wouldn't want to marry anyway. You know what I mean? If she needs that much attention from that many different guys, like there's a TikTok going viral where this girl talks about she's dating multiple guys at once that don't know about each other, and she's going to basically decide who she wants to be with based on the Valentine's Day presents that she gets. And it's just evil. So this woman is manipulating multiple men. And that's the case for a lot of women, even ugly ones, even fat women have a lot of social power when it comes to these dating apps. But if it's somebody that you know that you can go touch and feel and you've seen them in person, that dynamic changes and it evens out. So that's why I encourage you to go to a bar, go to a restaurant, somebody that you know, try to get somebody to introduce you through a mutual friend. That's the best way to meet somebody, in my opinion. But I'm not going to be the one that's like, oh, technology is bad. All technology is bad. You got to use the tools that we're given. So if you are on the dating apps, just don't be too superficial, because they can mislead you and they can look hot for 5 seconds online. Then you meet them in person and she's really fat and she's got a big, double chin and she's able to hide it with all those filters. So I don't believe anything I see on those dating apps. And the guys now, it's so ridiculous. They got to prove their height, but you don't make the women stand on a scale. I'm serious. Some of these dating apps now, I'm not on it. I just saw a video of a guy talking about how they try to make a guy stand next to something, and with artificial intelligence, by taking the picture that far away, can figure out how tall you are. But the women, they don't have to stand on a scale so we can see how much they weigh. And it is sad, because if you're on a dating app, it's over 90% of the women say they will not date somebody under 6 feet tall, which is not easy. I mean, I'm 6'3". It was easy for me, but life is easy for other people than it is for some. So my point is, these dating apps, they're not a good place to meet your true life love. You can meet some love, but it's not the love of your life. It's not the one that you're probably meant to be for the rest of it. But I don't know. I mean, different strokes for different folks. I know some of you guys are out there, your wife has a boyfriend and, you're all freaky deaky and you kind of like wife swapping, and that's gross. But what did I just say? Different strokes for different folks. I'll allow it. We live in a free country. God bless America, and God bless all the veterans that serve to make it so that we can have this freedom that we take for granted every single day and that they're trying to take away from us. You see in all these liberal states, they want to take away the Second Amendment. You see all these geopolitical problems are encouraging politicians to take away the First Amendment by not allowing us to speak about certain countries in the Middle East. And if we do, we could be kicked off the internet. And that is a direct assault on the First Amendment. And we got to fight back against that. So coming up next, we got the one, the only Tiger King calling back from federal prison, just to see what we can do as a community to help get him out of jail, because it's not going to just take me, even though I have a big platform. I need your help. The Tiger. All right. So we got a $10 super chat. Thank you. Everyone should go on Kendra G. She is good at dating stuff. Why, if I click it, does it not show up on stage? Thank you, Melanie. I think that's her 2 super chats of the night. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. It's nice to get the super chats, and they pay me to be here. Not a ton, but I get paid. I'll take it. Enough. I get paid enough. They might be a Cowboys fan. Well, there's gay dating apps for Cowboys fans. Cowboydating.com. Well, this is our last segment of the night. Thank you guys so much for being here. No, the show's not on a regular schedule. I've been filling in. They are looking for a regular morning guy. They have not hired me yet, though. I don't know if that's a good sign. They might. They've not hired anybody. So I guess so I'm still in the hunt. I don't know if tonight's show is the best. Some of our callers were not that great. Mono saying the F word, like we're on the radio, the FCC. This is real radio, WBAP. And Aaron Immel, ask him. Aaron from Steel Toe knows. And this camera's Not the best quality. Next time I'm here, I'll bring a different webcam. We can make, or really, oh, I don't know how to port into the board. I don't know. I can figure it out. Now that I did it this time, I think if I'm here during a weekday, we might be able to figure it out. We're about to be coming back from break. We got Joe Exotic on the line, so we're not going to be able to get to any other caller. Well, there's a couple callers on. Maybe stay on in case Joe leaves early. We got another minute. Thank you. What's up from Charlotte, North Carolina? Thank you, guys. No, thank you, Melanie. Melanie, you're the best. We appreciate all the super chats tonight. Thank you so much. You guys can't hear the music, but if I play it through the thing, there's going to be a delay. I have to figure out a way to do it without the delay. It's cool we were able to do this tonight, though. This is still good. And if I do the morning show, if I get the morning show, we can do this every morning. We can have a morning show every morning, and we'll get a nice webcam. The call-ins, you guys can call in any morning. So tell WBAP they should hire me. I don't know how you guys do that, but maybe tweet, say WBAP should hire the Pimp on a Blimp. I don't know. Tweet it. Well, happy Valentine's evening. You're listening to WBAP 93.3 FM and News Talk 820. I'm your host, Alejandro Stein. I'm going to be a little Latino for you because our guest, the one, the only Joe Exotic from the Tiger King, is on with us this Valentine's evening. And I know, Joe, that you're really struggling because your husband was deported, and we didn't give him amnesty. But if he was running a Somali daycare, he probably would have been A-OK, right, Joe? No, you're not even kidding. It's like these people, because our guest, the one, the only Joe Exotic from the Tiger King, is on with us this Valentine's evening. And I know, Joe, that you're really struggling because your husband was deported, and we didn't give him amnesty. But if he was running a Somali daycare, he probably would have been A-OK, right, Joe?
Yeah. Hola. Yeah, he would have been okay, and I'd have been out by now. It's crazy how this system works.
No, you're not even kidding. It's like these people that are pirates in their home country come here, and then they get access to more social services and help than you or me, an American citizen. It's ridiculous. It's totally upside down, Joe.
You know, this Omar guy got more help from our politicians than I can get through the court system.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. And Joe, that's the real travesty. If you would have been as famous as you were, because people don't realize you were well known before you got in trouble with Carol Baskin, but it was just a more niche audience. But if you would have had the support of Netflix and the millions of dollars that you would have gotten from the show, your court case would have gone totally different.
Oh, it would. I mean, it would have been hands down. That's why they did what they did the way they did it, because and my Supreme Court appeal is finally filed, but I filed it on the basis that my constitutional rights were violated, because your constitutional right says that you have a right to a non-excessive bail. Well, they kidnapped me basically, and they held me without bail, and then they kept me in solitary confinement for 2 years and 8 months during my trial, so I couldn't help find evidence or build my case. So you can't win. There's no way you can win.
And then on top of that, Carol Baskin's fully connected. I mean, she's dialed in, Joe. So that's what makes a lot of this a lot more complicated, is the fact that she has been in this political world for a long time, and I know that she is in certain politicians' ears saying, do not do this for Joe. But I would imagine that she's not in Donald Trump's ear or anybody in Donald Trump's cabinet, but I don't know. I mean, do you have any evidence that she could be connected to Trump?
Alex, I haven't had the opportunity to ask AI, but
This call is from a federal prison.
do know that she has donated millions of dollars to political campaigns and political PACs. And, a lot of people don't stop to think also, I was arrested during Donald Trump's first term. And I was indicted and convicted during Donald Trump's first term. So did she pay to keep me in here? Who knows? There's got to be a reason somewhere because, all of this blowing up boats in the ocean for drug boats and then pardoning the Honduras president and, now the NFL players for distributing cocaine. It can't be because I'm a bad press for him.
It can't be. I know, and that's
that.
But that's the excuse that Ed Martin's been saying is that he doesn't, want the optics, and then he's sharing a video of Barack Obama as a monkey, which I thought was kind of funny. But that's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is it can't be optics. I feel like there's a smoking gun that we have to find because that's why, and I don't think Ed knows because. If we have evidence of some of the most important leaders in the world agreeing that you should be out, every politician that I've ever talked to said you should be out, except for maybe with the exception of one. But my point is, Trump knows that people would be universally happy if you got out of jail. They wouldn't. The majority of people would be happy, not mad.
It would honestly help clean up his name a little bit.
I agree.
Now he's in the toilet.
I know it's been bad. And then when he said all this Epstein stuff is just a Democrat hoax and that was a lie, his credibility is just going, it's less and less by the day, sadly. And I hate to say that.
Alex, I have guards that have retired from here that have been federal prison guards for 20, 25 plus years that have written letters to Trump saying that I don't belong here.
And I believe he gets that stuff. I believe he gets that stuff. I'm saying, you think it just goes unseen. I'm sure that every person that he has talked to connected with you has spoken highly of you, except for Carol Baskin. That's the only one that I would think that would speak ill of you.
Well, and then she back in 2020 even went public and said she'd help me get a pardon if I told on all my friends, which I wouldn't, and I didn't. But, she even had a change of heart after the whole thing was over because she got what she wanted, and that was to be a millionaire.
I know, but the thing is go after your friends. I mean, would you be able to really take that many people down with you? And I don't want you to tell on them right now, but that seems like she was really scared that you're trying to kill her, but now she'll let you out of jail if she can put more people in jail. I don't know. It doesn't seem like she's actually scared of you.
She's not scared of me. I never even talked to her or seen her in real life until my trial.
So y'all had never, ever crossed paths? Not once? Oh, wow.
Never.
I would have thought y'all did, just dealing with the cats and whatnot.
That was all online marketing, really. She made money convincing her followers that I abused baby tigers because I let you pet them. And then I made money on JoeExoticTV.com convincing you that she was batshit crazy, and she killed her husband, which was easy because what 50-year-old woman wears flowers on her head every day?
And what 50-year-old woman has access to 1,000-pound cats that you can feed them to now? But that does blow my mind that she has been able to kind of get away with that, and nobody's really looked into it. And I'm this is all alleged. This is just speculation, but it does seem very odd that she was able to get away with her husband going missing, and we're just giving wall-to-wall media coverage for Nancy Guthrie's 84-year-old mom. I mean, it's just none of it makes sense.
Well, and
This call is from a federal prison.
And Don Lewis's kids had to pay to put up billboards 20 years later trying to find their dad. None of it's fair. But you mentioned the smoking gun, Alex. Governor Polis has the bullet for that smoking gun.
You're talking about the prisoner swap. You're talking about the swap.
I just need you to get a hold of Governor Polis because he's got the bullet that'll empty that gun because Trump wants Tina Peters.
All right. Well, I'll call on air this week and I'll leave Polis a message. I'll call not on air as well. So how can our audience that all love you, Joe, let's try to get a call to action right now. What is a way that you would think is the most important to help get your sentence commuted so that you can come out and be a free man?
Well, we tried for 8 years to get President Trump's attention. It's not working. So, ask everybody to Google the phone number to the Capitol in Colorado at Denver and leave a message for Governor Polis to pull something that's never been done in America.
I know. Can you do a state prisoner for a federal prisoner swap? I mean,
You can commute anybody's sentence as long as the governor of Colorado is willing to commute her sentence. He can let her out of his prison anytime he wants, and President Trump can let me out of his prison anytime he wants. Doesn't have to be like I'm going to that prison and she's coming to this prison. It's our sentences are being commuted at the same time.
Well, everybody needs to hit up the governor of Colorado. That's Governor Polis. And just if you want to leave him a message, you can just Google his number, use AI. It'll tell you all their information. But we really got to get you out, Joe. It makes me sick every time I talk to you that it's just another 6 months, another year.
Alex, and I sent out an email the other day, an actual press release too. And I don't want just out for myself. I need to save George right now.
Yeah.
And the lawyers were against me putting that out in public. But, the federal prison system in America got him addicted to K2, which is.
Oh, horrible. Yeah. Synthetic marijuana. Yeah. Everybody's on it.
Now he's in Mexico going down the tubes by the minute because of the American prison system.
Isn't that crazy? It's easier to get drugs in a federal prison than it probably is in a lot of neighborhoods outside of jail.
It's crazy in here. It's just insane.
Well, Joe,
American public would never vote again if you knew how many drugs were sold inside a federal prison. And we're out there blowing up boats, okay? It's just nothing makes sense, people. Nothing.
You're right. The only thing that would make sense and would give us a lot of hope and would help Donald Trump put him in a more positive light is by giving you a commutation on your sentence. It'd be commuted, and you're still guilty, and you get to be a free man.
And let me testify in front of Congress to change this because people are dying in here from drugs. It's not helping anybody in here. They're going home. If they don't come here a drug addict, they're leaving a drug addict. We have to fix this because this is a vicious cycle.
Yes, it is, Joe. All right, we got to let you go. I'll be hosting on Wednesday. I'll have you call in if you can on Wednesday morning.
Okay, I love you, man.
Love you, brother. You're the man,
me
Joe. Anything I can do to help, don't hesitate to reach out, guys. Thank you, Joe. Joe's the man. All right, thank you guys for spending all of your Valentine's Day evening with me, the Pimp on a Blimp. Thank you to Garrett and Jared back there. You guys. Of course, I forgot to call letters on my last freaking segment. All right, I love you guys. I'll probably go live maybe later tonight or tomorrow during the day. Thank you guys. Peace.